Yo, yo, yo. Watch out, doggy. What's going on, everybody? Uh, this is Happy Kingdom, your host today. We're going to talk about who is the problem. Is it the man or is it the women? Oh, shit. I didn't even notice your name wasn't even all the way typed. Fix that. So, let me say what's up to the people in the chat. Make sure y'all like the video and share the video. Shout out to Bernie, first on deck. Shout out to Ricky Webster. What's going on, bro? Shout out to Morgan. I don't know if that's a woman or a man. Happy New Year's to the panel. This is going to be a good vibe show. Absolutely, bro. My man JW, what's going on, bro? Misha Mack. Happy New Year, Safi, Alpha Villains in 1950. Yeah, 1950 should be here in a minute. You was being fast on your pictures, Misha. Who was up with that?
Ooh.
You was being fast. I didn't get clearance on that one.
Yeah.
Nobody told you could hang out with your black friends. What is you doing?
Yeah, man.
I gotta meet the black chicks first, man. They could be toxic. You gotta make sure.
Exactly. We gotta let's set the tone.
Trigger somebody. Trav. Hey, what up?
Travis.
Glenn Lawrence, what's going on, player? Thank you for the super chat. He said it's both. Naima, what's going on, baby? Happy New Year's. Happy New Year's to you. She said, my bad. Yeah, you better know it. What's going on? How are you, bro?
Hey, Happy New Year, man. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to you, my brother Fee. Happy New Year, man. First show of the new year, man. I'm doing pretty good, man. Excited been a long year, man. I'm excited to see what's popping. This is gonna be a good topic too, man. Because shit, I don't know, man. When you threw this topic at me, I'm like, damn, is men or women the problem? I don't know. Let's find out, man. I'm good.
Cool. Who else? Ricky Webster. It's a super chat. Party.
Let's go.
One love, props, Stu, for sure.
Peace.
Yeah, happy New Year. You're not doing no seductive posts.
I mean, she started.
Naomi, you like my earth tones, baby. I got this exclusive brown and army jacket that ain't nobody gonna have but me, with the army on the sides.
Oh, the distress leather. Let's go.
Yeah. Then we got the diesel little tight sweater and shit to show off my sexy muscles. And we supposed to have the army fatigue glasses, but I didn't feel like putting them on. So that's that's how we doing it. She said we're both fully stubborn. Yeah, man. So go ahead and how you feeling, bro? Go ahead and just say what you gonna say first before we unpack this shit.
Jesus Christ, I'm good, man. So Jesus Christ, man. Are men? Who's the problem here? 2022. Who's the problem? Men or women? Jesus, man. I think both. I think there's both sexes are responsible for where we at today. Technology, you know what I mean? We could talk about technology all we want, but at the end of the day, in the real world, it's up to us to press send. It's up to us to swipe right, left, etc. I think we got a lot to talk about today because it's a man's fault if he allows a woman to do some shit, and it's a woman's responsibility to know how to treat a man, and she's not doing that because she's not following men. They're usually following each other, women, and it's kind of like they're chasing their tail. So I don't know, Fee. This is gonna be interesting because it goes both ways, bro. It goes both ways. It's definitely a problem outside. I just don't think it's a problem for men like us per se. But even if you're grinding and you're focused, no matter what, right? Life's all about relationships, however you want to label them. It's definitely a nuisance, and it's definitely a lot of work to try to tame or maintain a relationship in this day and age. So now you got to find who's worthy of your time to kind of train, reprogram, reset, etc.
Mm-hmm. Hey, I'm gonna have to talk to you later now. I already see that.
Let's go.
AM1.
Peace.
Gonna pull up. Appreciate it. I seen who I just see. Principal
Bay, Coach Justin.
Coach Justin, there you go.
Peace.
1950. I don't know where the fuck he at.
Yeah.
Glenn says, send me the link. I would love to hop on this conversation. All right, my brother. Coach Justin, you on there?
There it is, just like that, bro. Just like that. It's all about the vibes.
Yeah. He came on hella intimate, like he's gonna be mediocre tutorials and shit. Hey, M1, what's up, bro? Happy New Year.
What's good? Happy New Year. What's good?
Good.
Good. Hold on, let me go back to the bottom. Hey, CHERRELL, baby. Happy New Year's, babe. Show blast, no time to blah, blah, blah. Pencil, blah, 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 blah. Okay.
You already, it's already going.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah, check in. Let them know who you are, what you do.
Oh, man. You already know what it is. One of the town's finest, Kelly Boy to the fullest. AM1. Some of you know me from these Black YouTube and Manospherian spaces. And definitely beyond that, I'm a creative consultant, visual media producer, Oakland, California based. I make videos and shit. That's it. That's all I got.
Yeah, how was Mexico, bro?
Oh, I'm back and forth there. I mean, pulling up in the winter season, so it's kind of like, I mean, it's cool. It's just more like a, home away from home kind of getaway setup. I was about to pivot all the way out the country, but now I'm kind of still back and forth.
We got to talk about, you know what? I seen that you put a video up and it said that you were leaving, but I didn't even put the Mexico shit connected. I thought that was a separate vacation.
Right. Yeah. I was kind of keeping it a little close to the chest on how I was going to set that up. But as it turns out now, victim of my own success, I guess, my clients are like, no, I need you to stay in the town. So they go we're going to pay more money to stay closer. So I'm like, damn. But yeah, no, that was the whole trick. Back and forth, the whole Mexico setup. was about to move to Texas because, you know, I don't know how you feel about this whole situation with Oakland, but how weird it is in the Bay Area, San Francisco, playing these games. And I'm not trying to win they stupid prizes playing their games. You dig?
Nah, bro. I'm trying to Trav, check your DM, bro. I'm trying to get up out of here too. That's why whenever somebody says it, I get interested, man, because it's like, man, I love to see. I don't know if you know Playboy Zay, but he broke my heart because he ain't nothing but 22, and he went to Africa and didn't come back.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, bro, you making my dream seem so funny style, bro. You just got up. I got you, coach. And you just went on ahead and did it. I'm trying to do all this planning and all of this shit. You just go on right on over there and just go to Eritrea, and then he just went out. So I'm like, man,
wow. He did the East Africa dip out and just peaced out.
He said he chose there because he said that's where the people look like him. You know, he look a little African and shit. So
makes sense.
Yep. What do you got? What do you think? Is it the men or the women problem? What you think?
Oh God! So we on this?
That's what I'm saying. Yo. This is a good one.
Wow. No, I remember seeing this. Was like, okay, this is gonna be ridiculous. And then you invite him to the panel. I was like, I gotta pull up. Hold on, I gotta brace myself on this. There's edible kicking in one time. So let me let that six really soak in. I'm smashing down these little punk ass White Claws, but these things starting to catch up. So I mean, a cool little vibe. You understand? Wow. Who's the problem? Okay, so I mean, I'm gonna keep it a buck. It's both sides, right? Like, ask me some shit like that. I mean, let's keep it fair. Let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it fair. It's both sides' problem. We talking like what? Who's the community and coming together and holding hands in kumbaya? Whose problem that's derailing that? Or is that what we're talking?
No, I mean, just like, you know, we got the cats that's always talking about women ain't shit, and then we got the women who always talk about dudes ain't shit. Now, I would say this too, bro, and you ladies, you cannot argue with this statement. You all have somebody that you can go to, right? It's just that you want this person. It's like, put it like this: any woman who's single and she complain about if she go through her DMs or just through her work husbands, what have you, she has options. It just ain't the options that she want. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, bro. If I had a daughter, I would raise her a certain way, bro. I'm gonna tell you that right now, because a lot of these cats, like we said, Principal Bay, everybody is cheating nowadays, bro. So some people, you want to be treated happy and shit. But hold on, let me let Trav check in real quick, and then I'm gonna swing it to you, Coach Justin.
What up,
Trav? Come up. You looking too fine? Nobody? You looking?
Give me a sec because I just got inside, so I gotta change up real quick.
Trav looking saucy. He don't want y'all to see him today. I feel it.
Hey, but you know what I'm saying?
Hey, TOPAZ, baby, I hear you. I see you.
In my opinion, it's definitely both sides. But I will say that I would just say as men, we got to step it up because I don't like to look at being a victim. I hate that stance. And a lot of times when I see,
you know what? I was just, hold on, just real quick. I was just thinking, CHERRELL, you want to come up here and drop some stuff? TOPAZ, you want to come up? We could do it, man. I ain't gonna say men versus women, but
let's go.
I mean, so we got 6, so we got room for 4. I got that room 4. All right. What's up, Blackjack? All right, Coach Justin, what up? What you thinking? How you feeling? What's on your mind? Happy New Year's, bro.
What's going on? Yeah, Happy New Year to everybody in the room, in the chat. I'm gonna go out on the limb and just say that it's just comes down to men, and that's it, right? Because men are supposed to be leading this shit, and if they're not, then things are gonna fall apart, as we have seen. Because if that's happening, then there'll be far less women complaining, and I really think that when guys turn around and say, women, it's women's fault too. It's kind of like, like when there's like a group of kids and they're all like screwing off and something breaks, and then the teacher comes over or the parent comes over and is like, "Who did it?" And they're like, "Not me. I didn't do it. It was them. It was it." And it takes that one person to go, "It's me," right? That's what a man does, right? The man doesn't look at who's to blame or all this nonsense. Says, I'll take care of that, and steps forward and does something about it.
Cool. My man Glenn Lawrence, what's on your mind? Happy New Year's, first off. What you got to say on the topic? You muted, I think. So.
Yeah, happy New Year's, everybody. I'm just saying like this: both men and women ain't shit. Let's just call it what it is. It's on both sides. Yeah, guys ain't shit because they're choosing to accept behavior that they don't want to be treated with. And women ain't shit because they're choosing to behave a certain way that they know that is not honorable to a woman.
Right.
So really when it comes down to it, they both ain't shit. Because if you're allowing one person to behave a certain way, you ain't shit. I mean, you have no respect for yourself. All right. And if you're manipulative and you're behaving a certain way, knowing that because of your gender, you're going to get treated with less, severity when it comes to punishment, then you ain't shit because you're abusing the system that was built to protect you in the first place. So that means you're not respecting the hard work and the system that was put in place to keep you pure, keep you cherished. You're devaluing yourself.
Boom.
Shots fired. Let's go.
I agree with that 100%.
Principal Bay said both ain't shit, but who holds the title? Shit, I'm gonna say the women. You already know.
Well, and I would agree with that.
I'm blaming the women. It's their fault.
I would agree with that. Just accept that if that's not being like respected and cherished, the systems that were built and maintained, then it's up to men to bring that to order and say, hey, you pull somebody aside, say, hey, look, you're not treating this with respect. You're not dealing with any sort of reverence or whatever. And so, but if nobody's doing that, of course it's gonna, people are gonna run rampant.
Yeah, that's what I agree with both of you guys. It's all about accountability for men. We always talk about that accountability. A real man, no matter what the outcome, he usually should be taking himself accountable. So whether it was my fault or not, you got a divorce, you broke up, you lost your job, you take accountability first, figure out what role you played in that demise, and then you figure out the other things you could have done better at the end of the day. But I agree with you. And both men and women ain't shit, fine. But at the end of the day, who holds the title? I think women are running more rampant, and I think men are lazy in regards to restoring masculine order in society. And I think in 2022, with all the content we got and everything, I think men are really fed up to the point now where men are pulling back and women are already starting to try to play the submissive games and all that shit to kind of just be in that chameleon phase to kind of lure us back in. So I think it's men's responsibility to clean this shit up. But I'm going to go with Afi too, man. I think women hold the title right now because it's more of them acting silly.
Oh, I definitely agree with you on that. I think definitely women hold the title. Like, I think they both ain't shit, but right now women definitely hold the title. Because here's what I'm saying is when you hold, this is how they hold the title. They were put in, they have a structure that's built to protect them, right? Every guy knows that when there's a shots fired, it's the dudes that are running out there to save women and children. So from a very basic primal standpoint, they are treated with more security. We have to preserve them, their value. They inherently have value. Men have to earn their value. So when you are inherently given value, and then you dismiss those that are giving you the value and you treating them like trash, you hold the title of being the most ain't shit because the people that are giving you value and you're acting like their value is not worth anything to you, then you are really the ones ain't shit.
Dude, let me
add this in there.
Let me hop in here and say this.
Let me get A1 first, and then you, Trav, and Morgan. My apologies. That wasn't no disrespect. That's why you got to put an avatar up, player. The players got to have the avatars, bro. We can't have the default characters, my brother. Then we won't have that mistake again. Shout out for the super chat from the way. He says, men and women don't know or talk about each other's pain in life. That's miscommunication alone creates and sustains the hate. I got a lot of little angles I can put on that. It depends on it depends on what type of vibe. People don't realize, man. People be having different vibes and what they're trying to do in relationships. Every relationship isn't always set up where we're going to be these love companions and shit like that. Like people run different programs. So I think one thing that's wrong with the manosphere is just black and white, and in real life there's plenty of colors. You feel me? So it don't work like that. You know,
I think it does boil down though, because people game. This is something I play around with a lot, right? These kind of concepts. Like I look at this relationship type stuff, whatever. But I'm 43. I've got multiple business things going on. I'm like, look, I've done all that. I've got all kind of pussy, whatever. I'll look at it like this. I'll break it down like on some sociology kind of levels. Like worst case scenario, who needs who more? Okay. I did a video talking about that. So it kind of ties in with this idea of who is the problem. I'll look at it as who needs who more. Like worst case scenario, shit hits the fan type scenario. We knock back to the Stone Ages. Who needs who more? And that shows you a hierarchy, a pecking order of importance, so to speak, right? Like in a situation where there's like roving gangs of men that's coming together out for the resources, who needs who more? So who needs to get in line more? But that shows you how a lot of women are super catting all the way off and just allowing the fact that gangs of men have basically set themselves up to control how money works, and right, they control the tech industry. We got too much infrastructure built up. Life is too easy. Everybody's too comfortable. So we don't need those old school traditions where it's like women need, you know what I mean? We've made it too easy for everybody, made it super easy for the women. So it just taking everything for granted, right? But shit is the fan situation. Who needs who more? Ultimately, though, it boils down on the men because it is about men having skills to attain resources and being able to defend those resources against other men. So, I mean, it's a multidimensional kind of situation, multidimensional answer. Highest level of the game, the men have to step up, have resources, defend those resources against other men. And then on the idea of when you get into the realm of dealing with women, the women need to understand that in a worst case situation, women by far need men more than men need the women. So they need to be a resource for that man and be a source of value in his life. That's it. All that other fucking around and taking life too simple, the social media, the glitz and the glam, the overdoing it with the makeup, all that is a backfire. They just don't get it. Go ahead, Joe.
Cool. Before I try, let me just touch on this real quick. Jonathan W says there's a tug of war amongst the sexes. Both men and women are trying to extract their desired resource from the other while giving as little as that is facts. Put a fire sign in the chat. That's facts. That's facts. And Lottery Guru, you said you had a question. Go ahead and put it. And Morgan, you said, I for either man, I respect you and your creativity. Oh, you speaking my language. You trying to get a free consultation out of pimp or what? Don't tell him that's my language. That's what I like. You don't care about the clothes. You care about a man's brain. That's what I like. Sky's the limit for you and your team. Let's manifest that because that's all the win. And Principal Bay, let me just comment on that. I agree. She said, "Man, hold the title." On it because she made me agree because as I had to think about it. She says, "Man holds the title because y'all let it get this far." Now, I only had this opinion now because I start coaching. See, my life pre-coaching cats is different because I didn't know the type of shit that dudes went through other than me and like my immediate circle, you know what I'm saying? But when I start coaching, I start seeing put together guys who still have problems with women and stuff like that. And I didn't know that. Like if I see these cats on Instagram and I see all that shit and all this flexing and all this, and they want to put their collages and all this shit together, then I would assume that they had it going on. But some of these cats, they not here mentally and stuff. But go ahead on Trav. What you got to say, brother?
Yeah, like my thing is that the only reason why as men these problems happen with women is because we put too much importance on getting our dick wet and getting our dick sucked. Like, bruh, like what other than that are most of these women bringing to the table that you're overvaluing? Most of these men aren't getting mad at these women are leaving them because they lost companionship. They have friends and stuff. They're just mad because they can't fuck or get their shit sucked now. That's why they're mad. Mm-hmm. So it's like, you're overvaluing that part of life. Like you haven't had that enough to realize that that's not as much as important as you think it is. That's my thing. So it's like once you get to that point, and you shouldn't have to get to that point to realize that, but once you realize that, it's like you're not going to take these things because the only reason why you're allowing this disrespect to happen is because you're not trying to lose out on getting with the woman. When you don't care about that, you don't take disrespect. Some of these things that we allow women to do to us collectively as men, we wouldn't allow men to do that, because if men did that to us, we'd whoop their ass, or at least try. So my thing is like, why are you allowing the woman to do this? Because you value sex. That's why. I came to Afi and I was asking them questions, but I wasn't having problems like that. I'm like, man, I'm getting the sex, but it's the other stuff. They think they're too damn important. Why is that? You know what I mean? Or why is this happening when this happens? The next advanced layers of that. But it's like, bro, these are the problems y'all having, and it's true. What brother said at the top. Sorry, I forgot your name, but I hadn't met you before. But
he from the town.
Right. Look, yeah, I saw you said cat it off. So I'm like, he a Bay Cat. So you know what I'm saying? So yeah. So I was saying, bro, it's like, yeah, like the only reason why, and I'm sorry, like take it to those caveman days. The only reason why women are allowed to be feminists is because men allow y'all to be feminine. If we wanted to go back and say, nah, we run the show and we go men versus women, dog, it would be like having women try to go from the WNBA to the NBA. We dominate and wipe y'all out. Y'all are only allowed to be as ignorant and silly as you are as TikTokers because we allow it. So men have to realize their value and go, we have order first, pussy second. When you get to that, a lot of these things go out the window.
Yo, you think about this though. Hold on,
would you say money first, pussy second?
No, I said order first.
Order first.
Order first. Second. That's good. Hold on, let me get these comments real quick. And Cherrell, come up here, and then Glenn go, and then I'm gonna bring in Topaz. Red Star says, "Get to the money, fellas. Everything else comes second. You're not our priority. Should she be yours?" That's true, bro. But the thing is, and thank you for the super chat, is this: a lot of these cats be talking this, not you. Trav no, AV no. I don't know if AM1 and Glen what, but y'all be the playerist cats in the chat rooms. But y'all don't be the playerist cats in the DMs, and y'all don't be the playerist cats in these consultations either.
Right.
And that is the real stuff. Got a question for you. Okay, Coach Justin. You said hold on one second. Let me just get this one. And then I seen you, Coach Justin. He said, my question is or maybe you was talking about this. My question is, do you guys think this is all being done on purpose by the media to destroy? Nah. It's human nature.
No. Whoa, no. Let me holler at that, because I didn't want to bring up that question. I didn't want to go too deep, because that's just tends to spoil the fun when you get to that level. But I mean, it's the kind of work I do for a living, so I understand this a lot. Like, that was a heavy question right there. I was going to address it, but yeah, no, this is all definitely intentionally done to bring down humanity. Like, you got to understand, like, that reset talk of economics, whatever, dollar, world reserve currency, all of this stuff from a higher level is being controlled by media. It's social engineering, social conditioning. So I mean, definitely the idea of women caring more about beauty as it relates to the attention they get on the internet, and they care more about that than how they appear and appeal to their own man. Like, bruh, like, you see how serious that is? Just the idea that you can tell women, hey, nah, I really prefer you not having this crazy colorful weave or wig or whatever. And they say they want to wear it anyway and get mad at you. They don't even care what you think about them. Like, that level, and that's just a small example, but social conditioning, social engineering, like, super serious, and it's definitely by design. So not to get too deep with that, but no, we can't ignore that. That's a real thing.
I agree with AM1.
I agree with that, but I think motherfuckers is too gullible too, because I don't let people socially engineer me do shit. I do what I think.
Max on that too.
Okay, so let me holler at that too. So here's a part of it from that standpoint of that media question, and that's a macro, the micro of what we're talking about here as far as who's the problem, right? The high percentage of people, men and women, let's say 80%, are children walking around in adult bodies and don't really know what's going on.
Facts.
So once we wrap our minds around that, then we understand the actual population sampling pool that we're actually dealing with. We have to understand that most of these people are little children walking around in adult bodies and are easily mind controlled and are at the mercy of social conditioning. So now that we understand that, and then we understand this idea that people have been made to live too easy. The Western model society, starting with America first and pop culture and all this shit, has lulled people into a sense of everything's okay. The government's going to protect me. Let's just live our mediocre lives, make ourselves sick as fuck, and just immerse ourselves in this social media narcissism like culture cult. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's where we're at right now. And trying to wake these people up or let them know or talk to them about social conditioning, it's all bad. But yeah, no, women ain't gonna figure it out, so the men gotta figure it out. But go
Here's
ahead.
a
Are
I got a
you?
I know
Are you?
Glenn had something. Glenn had something too.
Go ahead, Glenn.
Yeah. So,
ahead,
AM,
Glenn.
here's my question though. Do you think that like all this media attention, because you know it costs money to make media, right? So all this feminist movement, it is designed because think about it, all the people are buying into it. Think about the money and revenue that is being made by pushing this agenda. Like someone's pulling the strings in there, and from a financial standpoint, be like, yeah, let's just keep this going because you know what, it's lining our pockets.
Right.
Even though it's toxic, they're still pushing it because somebody's making money off of it.
Yep.
If
makes
you
dollars, so it
can
makes
use social engineering to like pseudo empower women to think that they're actually on like a realistic, real world equal playing field, because as we just described and we all understand, in a worst case scenario, women by far need men more than men need women, because men will go kill off all the women or enslave them. It's you know,
Yeah.
Yo,
you're familiar with the
it's rape and
with Edward
pillage. Right?
Bernays?
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Right.
Absolutely.
So you know about Edward Bernays. Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mention this all the time. Go on YouTube when people watching this.
Man, yeah.
Yeah, go on YouTube and watch this documentary. It's like 3 hours long. It's called The Century of Self. And it's a whole complete breakdown about basically how current social engineering has begun, and it was started with this dude Edward Bernays, who I think was the nephew of Sigmund Freud, and he did all kinds of social experiments and realized how easily influenced humans are and how much of their behavior can be shifted, and they will think that it's their choices, but it's really not their choices. They're completely being influenced and manipulated. And that documentary breaks it down. It's called The Century of Self. But I got a question for the group, and it's kind of related to this. And, it was mentioned like, well, guys kind of have to like step back up and start taking, great like order. And my personal mantra is principle ahead of pussy, right? Principles over pussy. But there's a lot of insecurity now amongst guys. So where do you think that has come from?
I don't know. Let's ask a woman. Topaz, give us some of that black woman power, Jim.
Oh,
Stop being so extra. Okay, so what was the full question again?
Who's fucking up, men or women? Whose fault is it?
Okay, so I'm gonna say the responsibility lies with the men for all of the reasons that y'all said. Like, at any moment, if men wanted to stop all of this, they could. So that's the only reason. However, I do say that women need to be held accountable for the following, right? If it, in the beginning, when feminisms first started happening, right, it was supposed to be treated like a human being, to have thoughts, and that comes with responsibility. So now I hear a whole lot of, oh, well, if men can do it, it's okay for me to do it. No, if you had a problem with it when men were doing it, it means you think it's wrong. So that doesn't make it okay now that you get a chance to do it. It's either wrong and you don't think it should happen, which means just because somebody else is doing it, you don't have to now join in. You're not supposed to take the ways of the person that you disagree with. You're supposed to just want that behavior to stop. So y'all, apparently it wasn't that the behavior was wrong. You were just upset because you couldn't do it. So why didn't you say that in the beginning? I don't like the fact that it was basically started on a lie. You should have said, oh, well, we want the right to be able to do it too. I personally don't want to do everything that men are forgiven for doing. I don't think it's a appropriate behavior. However, if I don't want men to do it, then I'm not going to then go behind them and do it also. So I feel like, all of the stuff that's going on now women can't say it's just men. You have to say it's both now, because you chose to also engage in the same behavior that you lobbied to stop.
Let me ask you a question. You ready for a real question or not? That's what I need to know first. You ready?
Yeah.
100. This is what I want to know. So you are a woman, right? Now,
right.
Would you consider yourself, L. Nixon, what's up, baby? Would you consider yourself submissive or not?
I mean, I consider myself submissive, but it's in the hands of the person who's getting it.
Exactly. Thanks for helping me out with this. So what is it take?
I think all women are submissive. If they submissive to the guy they want to be submissive to, he has to show them that he's quality enough to be submissive to.
Right. I want to hear from Topaz, because she's actually fucking guys. So,
Not plural.
Right,
No,
right,
I know
right.
S on the end
She's
of
the
it.
only one on the panel. Right.
legit. Like, what is it like? So if you're dealing with a man, Topaz, will you deal with a man that's not necessarily masculine or alpha for other reason and drag him along and maybe even treat him bad? And make sure y'all like the video. Press a fire sign in the chat if y'all like the video already, and push 2 fire signs if y'all shared the video. Share it on your community tab and share it with your partners. So now, what does it take? So every
first of
man
all,
that
I
you
would
deal with, are you just submissive, or like what does it take in a man for you to be like what? Because do you have guys who maybe they were soft over you and you dragged their ass through the mud, but you still kept them around? Let's hear it.
No, I wouldn't do that, because here's why. That's a waste of time. If I'm dragging some guy along that I don't actually like, that I can't get to the guy that I actually do like. And so in terms of alpha, that doesn't always mean brute strength. It just means whatever you need to do to come out on top. So if you have a game plan to where you're going to be able to use that characteristic or that skill or whatever to get to the top, then that, in my opinion, is alpha, because it doesn't matter how you got there, morally or whatever. But as long as you get there, as long as you're the one that's on top. So who am I submissive to? Or I'm just like, in general, I do things. I like taking the road without the most resistance, up to a point. There are times where you are supposed to resist things. Some stuff you are supposed to die rather than go along with. That is, your standards. That is your morality and your code and your value system. However, in absence of that, in absence of something that is, crossing my boundaries, then I don't make life hard for the people around me. I just kind of go with the flow, as long as it's nothing crazy.
That's awesome.
I see. And then after this, we just will say something. Principal Bay said all women are not submissive. Principal Bay, you're capped, because I will choke you and smack you, and you won't do shit about it. So you
Let's
be
go.
submissive to me. I'll put you on the move, just like this microphone. You could talk that shit to
Stop
all
playing.
You could talk that shit to them hood cats. You got to let the cat with the nice hair put his hand around your throat and get shot.
Yeah, I mean, like, to go back to that submissive thing, like I've dated like women who told me like, yeah, like I've had guys tell me I wasn't affectionate or whatever, and I knew like, well, you're gonna be that way with me, but I knew that I was bringing something that the other guys weren't, or they just weren't tapping into her the right way. Like, a lot of guys complain about women, but it's like, bro, why should that woman submit to you? What are you bringing? Like, you're not doing anything. You don't bring anything of value to her to submit to. Like,
Right.
people don't submit. They only submit because there's a value to submit to them. They're not going to submit just to submit. If the submission is in her favor, because she's like, okay, this guy shows that I should follow him and that he's going to lead me to the promised land. So I'm going to submit to this guy. But what we're saying is that what happens is that a lot of guys like me have to inherit women that I can make submissive, but I don't want to deal with, because some of them you might have to, as Ism say, whap and tap on their head a little bit, because they're used to dealing with all these guys in their life that were a certain way that they could push around. Now the first guy comes around that ain't like that and is bringing something to the table. Yes, a lot of these women will submit, but a lot of these women will have egos and be like, I'm not doing that because I've never done that before. So it's like, all right, well, I'm just not going to deal with you and go to the next one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
I like what.
Yeah, go ahead, AV.
Real quick.
I hate when you date women off the rip and they give you the rules and guidelines and shit before y'all even establish any connection.
You out.
Annoying fucking things, bro. Like, oh, I like this.
Move on to the next one.
Y'all date some weird ass women.
Right. Yeah, I like what Topaz said, and Trav. Topaz said that she chooses the road that is not with the least resistance. That's what we talk about: peace over pussy, principles over pussy, all that shit. A man's peace is so important. But what Trav said was very important too. It's about being a woman will be submissive if there is an incentive for her to be submissive. Change. Also, I know Afi says this on another panel the other day. He said people typically want to change when they're at their wit's end or there's a benefit to change. So if a woman doesn't see the value in you, doesn't see feel safe to be submissive to you, because what's submissiveness? Cooperation, being able to close her eyes and you lead the way. If you don't look like you're walking straight and you don't have your shit together, she's not going to feel safe. Then you're going to get angry at her. So it all goes back to what we said in the beginning. Who's a problem, man or women? Both, but at the same time, at the end of it, men are responsible. So if we don't hold ourselves accountable, we're going to be pointing the fingers at these broads, and shit's never going to get resolved. A woman will be submissive to the man that she feels safe with, and she feels like there's a benefit to becoming submissive, because when a woman is submissive, she gets the keys to the castle. You know what I mean? She gets to sit next to me on the throne. She gets to take advantage and travel with me, because those are the benefits that women will receive when they cooperate, and they become a compliment rather than a complication in a man's life.
Can I add to that?
Sure,
as a woman, so as a woman that is thinking, that is aware, that's paying attention and utilizing information, appropriately, right? Here's the thing: in order to submit, all it means is to yield. It means, you yield the floor. It's giving, and it's allowing for up to a point. You're not making this person's life harder than it has to be. So in order to do that, when you are an adult and you're taking responsibility for life, you only need two things: trust and proof. You need trust that this guy is, has your best interest at heart. The worst thing you want to do is submit to somebody that's going to use it to hurt you and other people. And then two, proof. And it doesn't even have to be him showing you his bank statements and all of that. See, that's where your priorities are messed up. You want him to come with a bunch of money, but you don't ask how he got this money. That could mean anything. It's not proof. And that you could tell that by how he talks, what his interests are, the things that he does, the things that he's good at. It doesn't necessarily mean a bank statement, a flashy car, all of that. That's childish, and you can end up getting messed up with that as well.
Right. I wanted to add to what AV said for real quick. Like, you're right. It is men and women, and when it comes down to it, men are not holding standards for themselves, not being accountable themselves. If you hear a lot of this, like, these guys, it's all the ladies, it's all these women out here. They just want the bag. They just want this. They want that. The reason why they're getting all that is because you're giving it to them. And now you're complaining that you're giving it to them and you're not getting what you want. And you didn't hold the value in yourself and what you have to offer in the first place, because you're giving it away freely. So how are they supposed to respect it if you're giving it away so freely?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it goes both ways. Yeah. God, and the question really isn't who's the worst, but who can we fix? And we can't fix women. We can fix men. We can fix ourselves. Women can fix women. Men can fix men. And the thing is, we have to hold ourselves to a standard and appreciate our own value, and not so much. It's not underlooking women's value, but understand really appreciating the value that what we offer. As everybody's mentioned here, we're the providers, the protectors. When shit hits the fan, we're the ones that go out there and clean the mess up. If you don't respect that and have value towards that, then how are they going to have value towards that? So the question should be
let me piggyback off that. Wow.
Well, let me finish real quick. The question should be more, who can we fix, men or women? And we could fix men behavior and not tolerating disrespect and bad behavior. That's what we should be nipping in the butt and making men level up to the best version of themselves. Because, like the saying is, once you start chasing the money starts running. Once you start chasing the pussy will start running. Okay? You have to have the value in themselves to demand that level of respect and of value.
Good stuff.
Right.
Good stuff. Who's somebody
Let me
else gonna say?
highlight that. Yeah, the whole submission thing. Like, I've heard a lot of brothers talk about this. And I'm just thinking about it, like, within my grown man ass adult life, when I really understood what was going on and got away from, corporate work and really working for myself, like the whole idea of submission. I mean, that's all about sort of the rules, the template that's set out of the gate. So it's like, set the precedent and let it be known how you roll. And if she ain't with it, then you got to keep it moving or just be friends. Just fall back and be a nice guy. Just fall back. Like, nah. Like, but the real deal is this. The discussion is so alien for me because I'm so far removed from a time in my life when I was just on some little boy running around bullshit. So I really was like, hey, man, come into my power to the fullest, fully realized, and really have an agenda out here, really be building a career, be building a portfolio of real life wins, of L's. You know what I mean? Like, let me have some back-to-back seasons. Let me get a handful of rings out here. Not that you know what I mean? It's still a work in progress, but when I really understood that's the deal, being on a purpose, the submission thing works like this. When I meet a woman, if I'm going to share time with her away from building this castle I'm building, it's like the value got to be so high, and she's going to come see the castle and see why she has to submit, or there's just no other way. Like, so for me, it's like, it just doesn't understand. Like, I can't compute how dudes have these complaints, because if a woman is not submitting to the fact that they're building something, then that means that they don't have enough of a foundation or enough of a purpose or foundation being laid to where they can actually tolerate a woman not being down with their program. You see, that's the only way it could possibly work. Like, in other words, the dude has to have a program. Like, or
that's the key.
Yeah.
it has
Most
to be
dudes
that.
don't have programs, my
It
brother.
has
Nope.
to be that.
That's the shit.
And you know
hit it on the nail.
what? It's not here. Here's the thing. I need to drop this real quick because I recently did something on this. Guys, at least on it's on like any level. Guys don't understand submission. It's not a conscious choice. All right. So a woman's submission, and I go deep into this because like I live not deep in it, but I live on a moderate lifestyle of BDSM. So we deal with submission a lot and we get deep with it. And I'm telling you, submission when it comes to women they're cut from the same cloth as arousal, but on just different ends. They're not side by side, they're like cousins. Okay. So just in the same way, you cannot make a woman wet by throwing a stack of cash in her lap. It's not going to happen. She'll get excited. If you buy a woman a car, it's not going to make her wet. If you buy her a house, it's not going to make her wet. Okay. Similarly, her submission is not going to come from you having a career, by you having muscles, by you having swag style, by you having lots of connections, by you having a nice car. The submission will not come from anything external to you. And it's typically something that is unconscious. Or subconscious. I always get those fucked up, but like it's a subconscious response, just like how arousal is a response. Okay. And it's not like a choice like, oh, well, he does this and he has this and he's 6 feet tall and he does this thing and his family looks like this. I think I'll submit. It's not like that at all.
Right. Good stuff. Real quick. Principal Bay, them fire signs for what I said about the choking, or because some players said some bars. We need to figure that out.
Specifics.
Cut out to the way. The choking was the fire part, or just the other part. And then we gonna get CHERRELL in and get a.
Yeah, that's who was that? Who was that lady who said like if you can tell me what to do, you can tell me what to do? Who was that?
I just think I recall that being something on TikTok.
Oh, it's some famous lady. She said, if you can tell me what to do, you can tell me what to do. If you can't tell me what to do, you can't tell me what to do. And that's she's saying it in a mystical way, but like really, it's a subconscious response. Like there's no like transaction about it.
That was just I remember that. The way says if you can't manage yourself, thanks for the super. If y'all got a question, put it in the super chat because when we having conversations, I might not get all of these. You gotta make it colorful for a player, man. If you can't imagine yourself, how are you going to manage a household? We can only fix ourselves when the whole world is against us. Facts, brother. CHERRELL, what do you think? CHERRELL.
Okay, sorry, I was on mute. So y'all saying who fault is it? Who got the title?
Who's at fault?
Then we got 1950 to start the show coming on.
Huh?
I said 1950s. This 1950 party, he coming on late. He about to. I put the stream in the. Hold on, I put the stream yard in there for 1950, so none of you cats don't try to just come up. That's for him. It ain't just for anybody. Go ahead, CHERRELL.
Okay, so I think it's the men, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because anytime I see a situation where power has been like shifted to somebody else, I always think it's the person who lost the power first. If you lost power or you gave away power, you're the loser. Yeah, you're the loser. So you lost. And now you got to do what it takes to get your power back. But if you're just going to complain, then you're still a loser. That's just complaining.
Sheesh.
Let me get my OG on here.
50?
50.
What's happening?
What's happening, bro?
What's happening with my brethrens? What's happening with my brethrens, man?
What's good?
What's going on with you, man?
50?
How y'all doing, man?
You early, but we got the Hennessy warm. We got it heated up and stuff. Hot coffees for you.
Hey, man, I'm ready to go, man. Let's get this thing in, man. I've been checking y'all just a little bit, but I was running late. My bad.
You came on militant today. You ready to cook a hoe, ain't you?
Oh yeah, man. You out here, man. You know, out here like a king right now, man. You know, it's king. This is the year of the king, man.
That's it.
A lot of men don't know that, man. But
What you
we
think,
can get it on, man.
Who fault is it? The man or the woman, bro?
You said whose fault it is?
Yeah, why the shit is all fucked up? Is it the man?
Oh, it's always the men, man. You know, we the leaders, we're the structure setters. We're the guys in charge. If we wasn't in charge, then we can easily say it's somebody else's fault, right? So if you're not in charge, you can blame it on the woman. It's easy. If you're not the man who sets up the plan, then you can easily say, you know what, women do this, women do that. You know, it's their fault. But we're the ones who build the road that they follow on. So in order for us to complain about what's going on, we got to take a look in the mirror at our structure and how we've been doing things. You know what I mean? I think a lot of men has become real emotional, and complaining is a part of it. You know, when you're miserable, you complain. Right. You know, when you're a person who gossips, those are women traits.
Yep.
You know, kings don't do that. Kings don't. We you know, that's for, you know, the peasants, and that's for the villagers. You know what I mean? Yeah. Those are the people who complain about what's going on and all that. We the ones we're fixers. We're
solve
builders.
Problems. Right.
You know what I mean? We do all those things. So for us to sit in the moment and complain is ridiculous. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Speaking of that, my man said it's over at this point. A lot of men still out here coping. I wouldn't call it coping, bro. I mean, to be honest, bro,
over?
Not even to be slick. Like I wouldn't say easy, but I could have a successful. I wouldn't say easy though, but I know how to. It just takes a lot of fucking time and shit. I feel like if I had a child by a woman, I would be way more inspired to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like if I had a not just a baby mama, but if I had a baby and me and her were solid, that would be enough to like have me like, okay, let me, you know what I mean? Because I will want that family shit that I didn't have. You know what I mean?
Right.
Not just the sex part. The sex ain't gonna make me want to like make it work all like that.
Hell no.
You know?
No.
Let me give an example of an interaction I had recently with a woman. And honestly, have y'all seen that meme on Instagram where it's like Samuel L. Jackson and it's like 33% of being a dad is doing this to your children? That's a part of kind of how it is when you're with a woman. Like you're the leader and you're keeping that shit in check. So with that said, like this is something that could be disrespect, that if you don't check this, women will take this and take it as far as they want. So I was showing somebody how to do something and she was getting frustrated. And I said, "Are you okay? What's going on? How are you feeling?" She's like, "Fine," like that. Now there's a difference between, "Oh yeah, I'm fine," and "fine." So I'm like, "You're not fine." I was like, "You would have said it different." And she's like, "No, I said I'm fine." I'm like, "No, 85% of communication is not verbal. Your nonverbal is not fine. What's up?" "Well, I'm getting frustrated that this, and that." And I'm like, "Don't get frustrated because this is your first time doing it. Blah, 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 blah." I said, "Now my issue is you weren't fine. So you didn't tell me the truth the first time. Why do I have to bring that out of you and pry at you to tell me that? You have a problem with communication. Why do you do that? I told you, you want a relationship with me, right? I'm not giving it to you. Why? You don't know how to communicate as an adult. You're my age. You're in your mid-30s. You still
goddamn, baby. I want to stay single. This sounds like too much fucking work for me.
Right.
Way too much work.
You see what I mean?
Yeah,
and that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't want to do that.
Right.
I just get in, get out, do what I do. I'm not doing that. Like, so if I want to commit, I got to deal with that? Like, no. So she knows why I won't commit to her. I'm like, I'm not committing to you because I got to do that. Like, I'm not doing that. And she gets mad when I tell her I'm with other women. I'm like, well, you don't want to fix the problem. So I'm just going to be with other women. But then she goes, okay, I'm sorry, but you don't have to say it like that. I'm like, nah. When you take an L, take 100% of the L. You don't get to get 5% or 10% of a win, but 90% L. Just take 100% of the L and be quiet. Because I wouldn't have had to say that. We wouldn't do this if you had just said the truth the first time. So you want a relationship? Change up, or I'm going to just do what I do.
Hey,
I think, here's a question.
Trav got triggered right there, boy.
It's like, and that's why you don't need to lie to women, because it's like, just act like an adult, and then you'll get results. You don't want to act like an adult, so you're not going to get the results you want.
Right.
Period.
What you got? That sounds a little personal.
Yo, here's a question. So, what are the panel's thoughts on the fact that we are given more respect to womankind? I'm not saying you're not supposed to respect women. I'm not encouraging anybody to be disrespectful, but we're respecting more their feelings than facts, and that's part of the problem.
Right.
You know, because we're like, girls could be having a problem with something like, hey, well, I feel this way. Well, I don't care how you feel. Okay.
Yeah.
The fact of the matter is this: 1 + 1 is 2. Because you said it's 3 and you feel that it's 3, doesn't make you right. It makes you dumb for trusting your feelings. But the problem is, we have been in a culture that has we have given weight to feelings more than facts. All right. And that's a problem that we are seeing right now. And I'm wondering how much of that is really the problem, is that we're giving too much credit to women's feelings and emotionalism than we are about the facts, because we don't want to hurt their feelings. Because sometimes you don't want to say, you would talk to a guy straight out like, yo, you're fucking up, right? You suck. You just can't do whatever that is. You're not doing it good. You need to go back to the drawing board and work at it. Sports. But when a woman does something wrong, we're like, well, I think you could do better. Maybe if you did this, you coddle them. You're not being straight with it.
So then it's like, are they adults?
Exactly. It's almost like you're treating them like
I don't coddle them, bro. I'm be honest.
No, but you see what I'm saying? Like how we can get to that point where society has been doing that for such a long time that we're giving credit to feelings rather than the facts. Like, the facts may hurt and may be straightforward, but people could get over that a lot quicker than anything else. It's like somebody telling you could sing, and then you go on American Idol, and then you sound like William Hung doing shebang, and like you know what I'm saying? Like, because of that coddleness, like, oh, I don't want to hurt their feelings. You set them up for failure,
right?
Hey, let me holler at that real quick, because that's beautiful the way you phrase that. Because in general terms, we understand the idea that some people say men are more logic based, women are more emotional based, right? The nurturing, whatnot, right brain, left brain. So then, if that's the case, should men bend around that and speak to women based on some kind of, I don't know, energies or actions rooted in emotion? Or do we say, no, you need to like use that faculty, right? Because women can be logical, you know what I mean? So are we supposed to read the room and play it differently? Or do we say, be really in tune with reality, right? Because logic kind of goes with you're taking reality as it is, right? So versus playing with somebody's feelings, their emotions, how they want to perceive it, more subjective. Do we look at it like how you deal with a child and say, oh, I'll just pat you on the head, little boy, little girl, and tell you what you want to hear? Or do we be like, nah, you need to like low-key man up, woman? What do y'all think about that? Because I think that speaks to what he's saying. My take is, me personally, I'm like, look, female, male, whatever, genitalia, look, we got this savage ass world out here. We need to figure this shit out. Let's do that. And let's do that in no uncertain terms and as blunt as possible. But then some people will be like, well, you're too hardcore. You're too cold on the bitch. You're too savage. You're too hardcore. I'm like, I'm just like real. Like, what the fuck? We got a real world out here that'll eat you alive. Let's get busy. Let's get, how should we do it? So y'all let me know. Ladies on the panel, what do y'all think about that? Like, are women more emotional rooted to the point where we should be bending around that? Are we supposed to read the room and say women are more emotional? Let's cater to that. Or do we be like, oh, I need to fucking figure this shit out? What do y'all think?
Okay, so I feel like, go ahead.
Who's that? Topaz talking? Let's get Cherrelle, then Topaz, and then 1950, then add on to that, because I got a question for both of y'all ladies too. But go ahead, Cherrelle.
Okay, so I mean, I definitely just don't think that anybody should let emotions run, because emotions are just, they're very frivolous. They can go up, they can go down. If your cycle is down, it might be a little out of whack. If you're pregnant, it's like emotions are too unstable in the first place for any society to be built on emotions. And that's probably why women shouldn't lead. Or I'm not saying that women shouldn't lead, but that's probably why it's not genuinely set up for women to lead a society, because it's just a lot of emotions. So no, the emotions definitely have to be put into check.
Good stuff, Cherrelle. What you got, Topaz?
Well, to answer AM1's question, no, I don't think that the world should be bent around women's emotions. Now, I don't even think that, like, here's what I believe. Women are more in tune with their emotion because it's been okay for women to express and feel emotion. So they feel emotion. If you're telling a woman something and she doesn't like to hear it, then her job at that moment is to go off and cope with those feelings. And the fact that feelings can be managed, but reality is just what it is. So if she doesn't like hearing what you have to say, she can go somewhere and resolve an unpleasant emotion. She can go somewhere and maintain a positive emotion. So that can be, done after the fact, but you can't get so detached from reality. You have to remain grounded. You can't just say, oh, well, because I feel this is what should happen. So no, if the reason why women shouldn't lead, in my opinion, is because women have been allowed to let their emotions rule stuff. No human likes.
Come on, baby, put some fire songs in the chat.
No human likes unpleasant emotions, okay? But see, that's part of learning. We coddle children because we don't want them to give up. Once they realize that they don't die, once they get to an age where they realize permanency, and that's a real thing, is understanding the law of permanency. They're not going to die. They're just not going to like it. And then what they also learn is what makes them feel better after hearing unpleasant things. So once you become an adult, you are an adult because you know how to manage your emotions. So if you are like, I feel like people let women get away with murder. I've been asked on panels, why don't I check women? Because I can't check her if there's a dude somewhere telling her it's okay. Women do things to get men. Okay?
There's a black author right here.
Let's go.
So if there's a man somewhere telling her that she don't have to listen to me, then what do I have? What's my bargaining chip? She don't have to listen to me. And matter of fact, she is supposed to listen to the dude in her face right now. She's not supposed to listen to me. So if y'all want women to check other women, then it needs to be something that she gets by doing what I'm telling her is the right answer. Or do I have the right answer? I'm not too arrogant to believe that I know everything. I know I pay attention and I have observations and I have ways that I view those observations. Sometimes I'm right, sometimes I'm not. But certain things I think we can all agree are just unwanted, undesirable. And when I try to tell a woman, hey, you might not want to do this, I don't say because men don't like it, because there is a man somewhere that's going to like it and accept it and put up with it. But what I do say is you just shouldn't want to be that person. I don't have a leg to stand on. Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. Maybe she does want to be that type of person. But that's the view I tried from. So to answer the long story short, because I can't get loquacious, right? So long story short is no, you don't bend to women's feelings. You let her manage that.
TOPAZ, that was fire.
This is the question.
I'll be having a lot to say, so I'm gonna go on mute real quick.
Yeah, let me just ask y'all this real quick, and then 1950 hop in, because I want to hear none of this cap shit, none of this PC beautifully animated fucking lies. Hey,
beautiful.
What PC do?
Through today, because AV, you know what I peeped what she said when she came to your panel on Friday. She was just
I already know where you going.
I gotta say it. She said, remember Trav, remember she was saying, oh, I never done that. I never done this. I never done that. But then when she was on AAV shit on Friday, I heard her say something about I did my whole shit already. What do you mean? How did that happen? When did that happen? So this is what I want to know. Just realistically, like this ain't a situation, Nelly Nell, Motu. This ain't a situation where I want y'all to like say this right thing because y'all in front of dudes and y'all want to seem like submissive or none of this bullshit. Okay, because you guys are, at different types of points in your life. For real? I do not want to hear this fucking technical bullshit. I want to hear the real stuff. What do you think some qualities in a man that have you satisfied for long term? Like, what are you willing to sacrifice in game? You know what I'm saying? Like, so if you like a dude with six pack abs, is 6-pack abs really that important when you're 40 and you want to settle down? Like, that's my vibe, what I'm asking. So which one of y'all ladies want to go first, and then we'll get 1950 in there?
Well, I'll say mine. I'll get mine out the way so CHERRELL can have the floor. In the grand scheme of life, no, six-pack abs are not that important, because guess what? Once everything is taken care of, he can get in the gym later and get six-pack abs. And I'm not telling y'all what y'all want to hear. I actually, I have grown to get to the point where I can be free to be me. I've gotten told I was stuck up in judgmental my whole life. So now I get to say that yes, I am, and I'm unapologetic about it. So no, six-pack abs is not the biggest thing. To me, the biggest thing, what I need out of a man, is to know that he makes good decisions. And the reason for that is because it's an easier life. I don't have to run, I don't have to check behind him. When you're in a relationship, you are responsible for that person's behavior. Not technically, but you get held responsible for that person. It's like, well, why are you not saying anything? So I don't want all of that. I want a man that he's making good decisions. I don't have to worry. I can relax, and then I can think of more fun things to do. It's a better and a freer life, to me, in my opinion.
Go ahead, sister. Let me drop some bars. I see A1 what you said in the chat, and then we're gonna give it to CHERRELL 1950. A1, what you said.
Yeah, exactly. Have a program.
To have a program easy, but I can't say that's easy, bro, because your program gotta fit the woman program too.
No. You have a well, all right. You know what? I'll give you that. You're right on that. It has to fit her program, but for me, I'm just starting with the simple fact that a lot of these brothers don't understand the concept of what that even means. Have a program, have a direction in life, have goals that you're trying to reach that are demonstrable. And any woman who's really about some shit should feel that and be ready to lay down and get down with that. And if not, then she ain't for you anyway. Keep her a friend, keep her cool, be nice, but just step off. And you got to just wait, hold out, still be about your program anyway. The bottom line is, whether you have a woman in your life or not, you better have and be about some kind of program, because that's the foundation of being a man anyway.
Can I say something after AM?
Yeah, hey, let me hop in after AM on this one.
Go ahead, Topaz. Well, I still want to hear what CHERRELL want to say.
And 50 and 52.
Okay, and I'll be quick. I like AM1's statement, and I feel like it's true. And here's why: you have your program because that's about your standards, your personality. That's about you knowing you and being able to understand what your abilities are and how you can capitalize on them to make the best out of this world. Now, here's the thing: there are some women that don't have a program. They would be good to support your program. And then there are other women who have a program. And so here's the thing: if you already have a program, then you find a woman that either her program lines up and is supportive to yours. For instance, me being a mental health therapist, right? So if I were to date somebody, it would need to be.
Don't try to flex the therapist shit real fast. Who you think you are?
Well, I'm a mental health therapist. And it's true. It's not just what I think. So the point is, I would have to date somebody that I could add to their program. Let's say he's in the field too. So then that way, what I'm doing helps him out. Or there's another part of me that it's creative. So I would need to date somebody that's creative, that understands that, and me being creative helps that program. And so if her program interferes with yours, or she is now, throwing wrenches in yours, then you just don't date her. She moves along and she gets to the person that she can help, and you move her out of the way so that you can get the woman that can be helpful.
Right. Yeah, because I wanted to make that statement because, like, say for instance, I got my program game tight. I don't have no kids. I got my money. I got all this shit, right? But guess what? If I'm dating CHERRELL and CHERRELL want to have kids and then I don't, then see, my program don't matter. That's why I got to fit her.
Right. No, you're right. I definitely agree with that.
I'm thinking, man, I'm 6 figures. I make 260,000. I got a Ferrari, all this shit. But if she want kids, that shit ain't. Whereas it ain't gonna. She may think, oh, let me just try to hang for a minute. But in the long run, she want kids. She missing out. So it's that compromise. So CHERRELL and then 1950. And then GLEN after 1950. Go ahead, CHERRELL.
Okay, so I would just say somebody that's loyal and honest, and just intentional about everything that they do. Somebody with a vision and just working actively towards their vision. Even if whatever you feel is radical, I just want you to be strong in who you are. I feel like I grew up a strong man. My daddy's a strong man, and my daddy I could never question him, because if I ask, oh, why are we doing this? It's because he said so. Because he's strong in who he is. And I feel like men should be strong in who I am. Even if I don't agree with something, let me know what your program is. Don't try to bamboozle me or trick me into something that in the long run I don't want. Like, set your standards. Say, this is the deal. Do you want to sign the contract or not? So that's how I just be intentional and just be a man about it. Just stand front. Like, this is what it is. If you don't want to do it, walk.
So let me ask you this. So say I'm with you for 2 years and I'm exclusive, and then after 2 years I'm like, I want to fuck hoes. I want polygamy. So now what? Do I run that by you right off the bat, or what? What do I do?
Yeah, run it by me.
I just wake up and say I want another one.
Yeah, run it by me.
Run it by you. Okay,
Yeah.
1950.
And if it makes sense, we're gonna see how is it gonna benefit us as a unit.
Okay. How does it benefit? I like that.
It definitely benefits when another woman's involved. You know, we're gonna get some more input. We're gonna get some more input. It's gonna be less work for you. You know what I mean? It's gonna be a lot.
And then how
We're
much
gonna
are you
sell it as
managing
a
me?
tribe.
How are
Well,
you
I'm
even
definitely
managing
gonna
me?
for me to have this conversation. You already know you're managed. So
Okay.
if this conversation is going to arise, that means you already know that when I'm coming to you, that I'm strong enough to handle this situation. See, I'm a guy, and I always try to preach to men: get so tight with your program that I like blind submission. I don't really like too many questions. So like when she finally does ask about what's going on, that's when I know it's serious. Because I find that when a lot of women ask too many questions, they don't trust you to begin with. They're asking you these questions because they don't believe in your vision and they don't believe in your decision making. So that's why I need more of okays and no problems. I believe in you, all those things, instead of why, explain to me, break this down. Like I don't want to hear all that. It needs to be blind submission. And when I'm telling you, a lot of men and especially a lot of women, I'll tell you this right now, but more than anything, they don't believe this lifestyle that I'm talking about is achievable, because they don't believe that there is a person who's going to be transparent, who's going to lead, who's going to make you have these feelings to understand why this man is in your life to begin with. Like, people, I get more inboxes on, are these women that really do this? These women actually act like this? And I said, the women don't act. Women are women. It is your job. It is your job to make sure they understand their purpose with you. Now, their purpose with other men may be different, but when they're with you, they got to have some type of structure or plan. And I was seeing something earlier today. I didn't get to comment on it, but the word coping. I'm seeing a lot of men using the word cope, and that's such an emotional word. I don't think men should use the word cope. Coping is dealing with emotions and strategies of dealing with emotion. Like, that's something we should never ever do, right? We should never have strategies in order to deal with emotions. We as men need to understand emotions for us look like different things. I'm very passionate. I'm very driven. I'm very action oriented. I'm a physical being. Like all these things erupt with emotion. Now, I don't believe in being disrespectful to women. You're supposed to be gentle to the woman that shares your space. A lot of men view us not having emotions as not being gentle to women. I think that's false. I think men need to understand that there's no balance. There's one way of doing things, and that's being a man. A man is not all these things that social media and these televisions want you to be. So y'all need to stop trying to compete with women, clearing your emotional bank, and start being men and understand that's not how we move and that's not how we rock. Y'all go ahead, man.
Oh, you came in with the fire. So we're gonna get Glenn.
Right.
We're gonna get Glenn, Coach Justin, and then AV Trav AM1. So go ahead, Glenn. You came in with the fire.
What A1 was saying about the program. I don't necessarily think that their program has to line up with your program. I think that your program should be so good and so attractive that when they see your program, they'd rather abandon their program to live in your program.
Wow.
Okay. I think that's how it should be. Like, in essence, like, if you're moving a certain way and she sees what you're providing for your life, and how, if she sacrificed her direction for your direction, how it benefits her, that's the way it should move. Not this, oh, well, you know what? Both of our programs kind of line up, and no, because there's a divergence. That's still her living independent of you. And that's not saying that women can't be independent. There's tons of independent women out there that's still wondering where the ring is. You know what I'm saying? So it's like my program is what I'm doing in my life, and my program is so attractive that if you want to be in my program, you have to be willing to sacrifice the things that I don't want in my program out of my program, because you cannot be bringing that into my program. You can't bring that into my frame and expect me to negotiate with you on that, because to me that looks like it detracts me from getting to where I want to get to. If it's one less hurdle I don't have to deal with, then I don't want to deal with it. So they would have to be able to submit to my program or my frame in order for that to even take place and be a cohesive unit, because I'm not going to negotiate with you on how I want to operate to get to where I want to get to. You know, does that make sense? Like
it makes plenty of sense. It makes plenty of sense. Coach Justin, you wanna add to it? AV, you already got the AV got the he got the aspirin for that one. No, he don't even know. He may know what I'm talking about, but we'll unpack it when it comes to you, because there's an aspirin and an antidote for that right there. Coach Justin, what you got?
You're on mute, buddy.
Bro. Oh.
My bad. I would just say that women don't have programs. Like I don't know who said that, but women don't have. I was laughing inside. Like, women do not have programs. They can.
They're wild animals. They're wild animals.
They can simulate what it might look like. Okay, but they don't have programs.
He said simulate.
Right? You can you can kind of like copy the moves, but it's not the real thing. Yeah, man, just focus on your own shit. like really, it's like I said, it's like kind of what I was saying before, like about submission and all that. Like, it's kind of like what 50 was just saying. And he said involuntary, right? Well, it comes as a subconscious response to you. If you're negotiating anything, you've already lost.
Facts.
Like, if you're having a conversation about it, you've lost. There should be no convincing, no negotiating, no, if I do this, then you do that, then nope, it's done. It is done. She does not have 100% respect for you. She does not have 100% trust in you, and she's certainly not submitting to you on a subconscious level.
You know what? I'm the one that's that program, and I'm gonna say they do have programs. Now, whether you want to follow it, that's on you. But when I say program,
he said they could simulate it.
I'm talking about on a finesse side. Like, I'm talking about a woman's needs, right? So it's not necessarily her program, like she's the one running it. But we're always a product of the last cat. So when you messing with a woman long term, you gotta reprogram her, bro. You just can't. Let me just take you on this journey. Like, nah, bro, you gotta take.
Yeah.
Okay, question.
Sometimes, yeah.
Go ahead,
Question.
Sherrell.
So, how are y'all are saying a woman should just get on your program? She should just know who cares about what she has to say. So, how does that work in real life? Do you just meet a woman and you're like, how does that go? It's like bada boom, bada bang.
Let me show you my DMs. I'll let you know. I'll show you what it looks like.
Wait, let me holler at that. I say stuff to guys. I've been rocking with this YouTube thing for a little bit, and I say some crude shit that gets me a lot of fire. Basically, I tell brothers to be in a position in life where you have enough skills and resources to the point where you don't really need women for anything except that thing that they got that you don't got.
I don't even need them for that.
It's that simple. I mean, I'm saying as far as a need, like literally, that's the only thing you can put on me that I don't have myself is that, and be willing to walk away from that. It's pretty simple.
For sure. And AV, now you got this one. You got this one right here, bro.
Refresh my memory. Where we going?
You about to get the memory. Shout out to my brother RPC, brother.
Right, let's go.
You want to drop some bars? Let me know. This is the problem with even the program, bro. And I want him to speak on it because he the one taught me this.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's the thing. And what AV told me in a conversation I had with him on some personal shit is like, sometimes you already know that a woman's needs is not, how you say it, a woman's need is not big as your dreams. And that's the realest shit I ever heard, bro. Because like, if I got all this game, if what she wants is different, I can make her follow me, but then I gotta take off for myself. I like women who cooperate and come to me, period. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't, every woman isn't worth my effort to train. What is it? That ain't like this is this her, I like her. Let me repackage her and make her like, and I ain't got that kind of time nowadays, man. So she gotta already come with batteries included for even the conversation. So as far as the program, my brother, just unpack that concept. That's a concept. Like you give the regardless, if your woman hasn't seen a certain lifestyle or been around certain cats, what you stand for and what you are, she can't connect with it because she never seen it before. Now, obviously, let's take out like famous motherfuckers and shit like that. Like that's different because when you are famous or you are a celebrity, then you're providing a lifestyle. See, that's like a game changer. So we got to take that out because that's going to be the key. If I got millions of dollars and I can change your whole life, be it you fuck with me, well, then that's gonna create some type of shit just anyway. But I'm just talking about on some regular cats.
Yeah, that's unsustainable even then though. With money is only a small fraction of natural want, and that's not even a need, right? Money is a currency that we have created in order to judge people's worth ethics, right? So that's why you can't have lazy people getting the same amount of food as everybody else. You know what I mean? And that's why they created the currency in order for people to make people that's lazy come to the forefront, right? So, but women in the long run, money, you can see men all day long that's quote unquote famous. I don't really consider any man famous, but what I'm saying to you is it's more of look at their lifestyle with these women. They divorcing right and left. These women have no invested interest in them. Once they understand that this man cannot satisfy them in the way of a strong man satisfying a woman, then things come awry. She get to being disrespectful. She gets to talking the S to him. Then he gets to flying out of town, being with other women. He gets to lying. He's not being himself. He's not telling her, hey, this is what it is. Then they start to have problems. This is why real men live in the space, the truth. I'm going to tell you what it is. This is what it is. This is how we're going to get down. This is what we represent. You know what I mean? So money it's not sustainable. But what is that guy from Amazon?
Bezos.
Bezos. Yeah, that cat, you can just see right there. This cat already it's about the man making that woman feel away. And I'm telling you, and this is where the orgasms matter. Orgasms matter. And this is why you could be rich as hell, but the pool man can come and snatch your chick because of what he's making her do, what he's making her feel. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. I'm old.
That's a fact.
If y'all got your channel, y'all make sure y'all put your channels in the chat and stuff. Y'all got wrenches, you know what I'm saying? I think everybody up here got a wrench. So just go ahead.
Word. Let me touch on what absolutely I agree with what 50 said, but let me just kind of touch on what Afi was referring to.
Yeah, I want you to touch on that, bro, because that'll cause a lot of it's different, bro. Let me just say this. Like, say I want to be a manager at Target. See, it's easy to sell that, right? But like I want to be like a movie director and shit like that ain't everybody can't listen to that story. Everybody they ain't gonna that's too much for them. You see what I'm saying? Like the vision and the needs is just go ahead, brother. You got it.
Yeah, no doubt. Basically, in a nutshell, man, overall, what I've realized in my life, man, a woman's needs are sometimes, for the most part, bigger than a man's dreams. And I guess we can relate dreams to a program. The program has to be attractive and attainable. A woman will not support or be down with your purpose unless she can touch it, feel it, taste it, spend it. So when a woman's needs are bigger than her dreams, a man has to make a tough choice. This is why we want to be kings, right? Men have to make the tough decisions. You have to decide whether your dream is going to be worth all the sacrificing that you're going to do and avoid the women hanging out, etc. So at the end of the day, a man's dream has to be his own. The only time you can see it is when we bring it to fruition. If I were to tell people at my age alpha villains, they would look at me like I was crazy. I had to really put things into place to see that, oh shit, this guy's actually serious about this thing. Now women are starting to see and starting to suppress their needs because now they get to see the lights. They get to see me on the mic. They get to see, some people giving me props. So unless a woman can touch and taste or feel or grab your purpose, your dream, her needs will always be more, and she will never be able to relate to them unless it has a benefit for her. Right. So guys have to make that decision.
Yeah. See, it's different. Right. Like Baycast, we're kind of like on the finesse side, so it's like a whole different like angle. And shout out to Anthony Spade, one of the YouTube goats for $50
Boom, boom, boom.
super chat party sponsorship.
Let's go. Let's go.
Shout out to you. I love it, man. I love it. Like I always tell you, AB, it ain't how many people watching this.
Who's watching? Yes.
We got the big guys, the important people who support the player over here. So fuck you. Let me not even say that because everybody ain't black on here, so I ain't gonna say. Thank you for the super chat, brother. I appreciate you. Somebody want to hop in there?
Yeah. Let me
Trav.
jump on.
Let me know. Come up.
So I'm going to agree with Afi. Now, whether they're good programs or not, women definitely have programs because women are selfish creatures. So they definitely know what they want for themselves. So
yeah, see, they know.
So when a woman likes you, bruh, that's because it's not necessarily because they like you for you. They like for what you do for them.
Right.
You just happen to be that male form of what can help and coincide with their program. So you're like, oh, they're supportive. Nah, they like you for their own selfish reasons that you aligned with. See, so that's why, bro, you could have a top-notch program and all that, and a woman's following it. People change. You can be in year 10, year 15, then all of a sudden she changes. She got some new influences from somewhere. And now she's changed. You still had a great program, but because her needs change, she don't care. She can go ahead and move on and go to somewhere else and not give two fucks because she's like, hey, my program ain't that no more. I want to do something else. And here's another thing. Some got times men, and I've dealt with this, men lose out on women because their program is too thorough. This is what I mean by that. If you pull up on a woman and a woman has an ego and she's used to running the show with men, now you come along, your program is more thorough than hers. You actually will have to make her level up to mess with you. A woman would rather be on top of a man. Some women in this day and age are super feminist, would rather complain about a man that they're with that they run is doing wrong than be with a man who can actually level them up and make them be accountable to level up and get on their level. They'll run away from that because they'll be like, oh, no, he's a player, or no, he's this. They'll find an excuse because now they're in a position for the first time in their life where they got to be accountable now. And they don't want to get their ego checked.
Too much work, right?
Now you're talking about the side effects of this current society.
Women have programs. Whether it's effective or not, that's another
discussion. But right, Trav, but you see what I'm saying? They still have it because it's the thing.
Yeah.
I put a chapter in my book about this. The name of this chapter is "You Are a Character in a Woman's Movie," bro. And if y'all don't understand that, then that's on y'all. But I'm telling you now, if you understand that, it's like you can adapt and shit, bro. And it's like, I mean, I get it. Like you want to be, I'm telling you, bro. Like you can be the master of man, but if you figure out what that woman want and you kind of it's a whole different vibe. Bro.
Yeah. Let me say this. Let me say this real quick, and then I'll let it go. Let me say this real quick. Now, even if you have a woman that's super submissive and she's running the show, if y'all deal with each other long term, she's going to challenge your leadership at some point.
Absolutely.
There ain't no way you're going to be with the woman for long term.
Yes.
And then she ain't going to challenge you at one point. Mm-hmm. Like the situation I said, that was a personal one. But this woman is super submissive. But she had a moment where she was just being a little out of pocket, and I had to check her on that. But the thing is did she? But she came back and said, "I'm sorry," and changed it up. You know what I'm saying? But hey, that's the thing with women, bro. They have egos, so there's things that are gonna happen.
Hey, let me holler at that.
And I agree. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I just want to clarify because I get derailed off the idea of like when I first talked about the idea of like having a program, it's easy. Obviously, that's an oversimplification, but just even clarifying what I mean by that, having a program like relative to understanding this world works in like a predatory monetary type system. So to have a program that's rooted in long-term sustainability that a man is going to have as a foundational like part of his manlyhood, his masculinity, and that women should be able to recognize that. If she's on some little girl shit and can't recognize that and doesn't appreciate that, he should be able to just walk away from that because he's not going to let her derail his program. So when I talk about a program, to the point of Travis, he made some real interesting points talking about women do have programs. I would say that's maybe some kind of like weird firmware shit, some social conditioned.
That's what I'm saying. Simulated.
faulty firmware, right? Simulation, Coach Justin. But yeah, for the most part, I just want to clarify that when I talk about that, I'm talking about a real world sustainability program that a woman can see. And if she's turned off by that or intimidated by that, then you don't want her anyway. She did you a favor by leaving.
Right.
I think 50 had something.
Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, 50, Coach Justin. What's up, Black Black? What's going on, brother? Go ahead, 50.
No, I was just basically saying, man, it's like they're gonna sometime they're gonna challenge your authority, challenge some of your decisions you're making, but it's the way that they do it, right? Like there's a certain level of respect that needs to be brought to the table when these questions are being had. And see, this is why I think men fall short. Like, I don't like combativeness. Like, I'm not going back and forth with you. So if you come with me and you come talk to me and you say, hey, talk to me about X, Y, and Z, I'm going to talk to you about X, Y, and Z. If you're still not, understanding, I'm going to say it one more time. But outside of that, I'm done with the conversation, because at that point, now it's becoming a debate. And I feel like that you want me to prove myself to you in this situation. So this is where I told you men need to live in a space of being uncomfortable. And if what I mean by that is we got to be able to make uncomfortable decisions, and we got to have uncomfortable conversations. And sometimes it's not going to look great to the outside world. Like I will pull over on the side of the road and check you with your mom in the back seat if I have to.
Bruh,
and what I mean, and I don't need to yell, I don't need to cuss you out because I don't live in that space. But what I'm telling you is, this is the type of authority. I don't care if your daddy was in the car. I will pull over with him in the car and say, hold on, you're not going to talk to me like this. You're not going to be the X, Y. This is the kind of understanding that she needs to have for you, and type of respect that she needs to have for you, and throughout the whole relationship. That's all I'm saying. I don't believe in too much questioning of your decision making. No, unless you're terrible. I mean, your resume of a man is very evident, and if you're terrible as a man, and she's going to question you a lot. So if you're getting questioned a lot, you probably need to look at it and say, why is she questioning me this much?
Right.
Does my resume look this bad? You know what I mean?
Point.
So,
well, see, she shouldn't even be dealing with a man that's terrible. If his resume looks bad, then why is she still there? So I just,
because terrible women deal with terrible men too. So that's why I'm saying.
And I wanted to say this part. So
PS5, I see it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you see me back here, baby.
Yeah.
Go
ahead, Topaz.
I apologize. Go ahead.
No problem. I didn't know if y'all were done or not. I just wanted to say, here's the thing. So as a woman, right, if you see this man and he has a terrible resume, why are you even dealing with him? And so to answer y'all question earlier is because it's security. She can come if she can complain to everybody about whatever it is you're not doing. What women think, which is not correct, it's not accurate, it's just a thought that they have, is that, oh well, he would be a fool to leave me, so that means I'm secure in my space if when you in charge. But that's not actually how men work. See, men, what I've learned is that if you do everything for them, when they get to a place and they're on their feet, you now represent a time in their life where they had to be vulnerable. They don't want to be around that anymore. Once they're okay, they need to get away from that so that they can live in the now of, okay, now I'm back together. That was a low period in my life. So while they thinking that this is securing them, it's actually doing the opposite. And so when I try to, and I'm curious, so the men on the panel, can y'all tell me if that is correct? Because I've gotten pushback for that, but I got that from listening to what men complain about.
Dude, that's super facts. Let me just say this, and I'll be quiet. But that's super facts, because look how many ain't shit men women are dealing with. Guys be like, oh, you got to have a program and do this. It's like, bro, you know how many guys I know that don't have a program that get women?
It's because they wear cologne.
Well, you'd be surprised, man.
Like and subscribe to them.
You'd be surprised because a program is not something that is external to you. I mean, that's just being responsible, right? The program has everything to do with your mindset, your perception of yourself, your perception of reality, right? Mm-hmm. It's deeper than that. Like, your program is your belief structure. It's not something that you do. Like, just having a job and having a 5-10 year plan is not a program. Like, it's way deeper than that shit. But I wanted to just say about like the testing thing, it, like, to what 50 was saying, it's like I keep like echoing off all the shit you're saying, man. But like it doesn't happen as much, you know, like if you're you know, if you're solid like that, because like, I mean, think about it. You got a chair. Like we're all sitting in chairs. How many of you checked the chair that you're sitting on before you sat on it? None of us, right? Because you trust and you're confident that the chair was made properly, you know. But if you come up to your chair and it's like kind of sitting wonky, you know, and you push your hands on it and the legs start moving and shit, you're like, oh man, I'm gonna have to test this. So the amount of testing is in direct line with how you know, she's perceiving the amount of weakness that she can pick up in you on a gut level. You know what I'm saying? And if her gut is telling her that you're cool, she's going to test you far less. Will it ever be zero? Probably not. You know, I mean, fuck, like even Superman will get tested, but like, you know, it's going to be far less. So, you know, to what 50 was saying, if it's happening like over and over, like that is just an indication that woman just does not respect you. She doesn't trust you. She's not with it, you know. And it's nothing concrete, because you could have the best fucking career, your external program or whatever, or just being fucking responsible. It could be great, you know, everything could look great on the outside, but if she's around you and feels a certain way, right, that her gut is saying, I can't trust this dude. I don't feel comfortable. I don't feel aroused. I don't feel that he just wants to fucking devour me, right? Then it's not going to be there, right? And she's just going to test or just get bored, go fuck somebody else or whatever. You know what I mean? It'll deviate from whatever that reality is. So, you know, but yeah, if it's happening a lot, you got to check yourself.
Let me ask you guys this.
Oh,
go ahead. Go for it, Glenn. You go first. You first.
Yeah, okay. So my question is, so with this brings us back to respect, because we keep on talking about respect and disrespect here. And I find it, so I have a degree in religion, so it's kind of funny because this is brought up a lot to me in conversation. My biggest determination whether or not I see a relationship's work or failure is if when I see an imbalance of respect and love. Okay, I don't need a woman to love me. I need a woman to respect me. The Bible even says that in a very, very key way. It said in Ephesians 5, Paul writes, you know, women are to submit to their husbands, to respect their husbands, and husbands are to love their wives as they love themselves, right? So you wouldn't hurt yourself. So for me, it's like, okay, I'm not going to put my girl in any position that's going to be damaging to her, because I wouldn't put myself in a position to be damaging to her, to myself. So if I see somebody being disrespectful, if I see a woman being disrespectful to a man, I question whether or not the relationship could work, because one, he's tolerating this bad behavior and rewarding it. So that shows me that he doesn't respect himself. But two, if women are being disrespectful to a man, it will never work out, period, in my opinion. If there's disrespect, and I think 50 really highlighted on this, is like, yo, if they're being disrespectful, then, you know, they're going to be kicked out of the car with their dad in the car too. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's the problem, is guys are not willing to say, you know what, no, I'm in a position of respect. I'm deserved respect. But sometimes guys that don't have a program, they don't have a program worth respecting. You know, so girls are going to run amok on them. Girls are going to scare in a different way because they don't have anything respectful. They don't have nothing to require that respect to be given, and then they're mad about it. So it kind of goes back to wondering, okay, well, really, what is it? Are we getting lost in respecting women and not expecting them to respect us, tolerating it? Or is it that, like, oh, well, you know, are we loving women's respect so not enough? Like we're not requiring the respect enough from men. And I think that's like kind of what I wanted to highlight what 50 was saying, because he's saying, like, you know, yo, if they're not being respectful in this manner, there's a consequence to this disrespect. They may love him, but the fact that they disrespected him, there's a consequence to it. And regardless if there's love or not, the consequence has to be faced. And I think a lot of guys are avoiding giving consequences for disrespect and accepting bad behavior, and then wondering why later down the road it got worse.
And why are they avoiding it?
Absolutely,
they're avoiding because they have that scarcity mentality, right?
Go ahead, Glenn. I'm sorry. You
No, that's what I was going to end there. They're just avoiding because of that scarcity mentality. Oh, I lose her, then I got nobody. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no,
they scared.
To realize, like, they're not
willing to walk away.
You have more problem than you realize. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That was awesome what you said, man, about the consequences and disrespect. I think this.
Go next. Go ahead.
Salute. Yeah. Okay. That's an excellent observation that you said about regarding consequences. I think that kind of brings up another point, and I know Afi and I talk about this a lot. You know, there shouldn't be disrespect is disrespect, whether it's small or it's big. A lot of guys are looking for red flags, big red flags about disrespect, you know, coming out of the pocket. But there's a lot of subtle ways that women disrespect men that men don't even have the damn discernment to realize, and then that just snowballs because, like you guys mentioned, women are gonna test you. That's just part of their nature. It's not gonna be as frequent, but it's gonna happen because that's part of their nature. One of the ways that women test you is by dropping little hints of disrespect, whether it's the way they flirt with a dude, how they post you on social media, the shit that they say about you. The things that they talk about with you in front of other people, they're airing out your dirty laundry. As those things continue to let pass, then the disrespect comes in. So by then you already being programmed because you don't even realize, you just laughing it off. But we all looking at you like you crazy because you letting this broad disrespect you. So there's a lot of layers of disrespect. Men need to understand disrespect is disrespect. It don't matter what. Whether you made an inappropriate joke and aired me out or you did some other crazy shit, men should not be tolerated, and the consequences should be all the same across the board. So there's no confusion between the man and the woman.
And real quick, you players who be so fucking proud posing with y'all chicks, y'all need to be scanning these captions.
Facts.
Yeah, y'all need to be scanning these captions, bro. Y'all be looking like clowns with these captions. Y'all be it's like they'll manufacture it, right? So look, Justin, Lauren, like they'll take a picture with you like this and shit, right? So you thinking, oh, you gonna post it? Oh yeah, sure, babe. And you don't scan it. And then when she posts the picture, then the caption will say some out of pocket shit you don't agree with, like, look at my man, he loves every cent of me, and it'll be some shit like that. You just took the picture. You thinking it's all player. Y'all got to start scanning these captions and shit because these captions be having y'all looking like y'all some simps, bro.
Everything's got to get cleared, and that's part of leading the relationship.
Look at him. You looking at you don't even know nothing about this. She talking
no pictures for me, man.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I'm a guy who always says too. I'm a private person when it comes to relationships, right? Don't post me at all. I need to be a ghost in your life. I need to be the most mysterious, well-respected man they ever heard of, right? and what I mean by that is you're not going to ever see me on social media cheek to cheek. That's not my thing. That's your thing. So I'm not going to compromise what I believe in because it's something that you want to do. If you want to validate your relationship, keep moving the way you do. That's going to validate it enough. You don't need to show all these people that we cheek to cheek, and now you got me all up with matching pajamas on your that's for bozos. That's for bozos. That's for bozos. You got to know if most men, if you really just think about the men's philosophy, right? The man philosophy is not to match a woman. That's not even in our thought process to ever compare ourselves to women. So that's the woman's idea. And why do you think
it is?
Right.
You know it is, right? Oh, let's get them because they're trend followers, right? And now their friends do it. And now let's go ahead and get our family to do it because everybody else's family is on here. And it takes a strong man to run your own way. Your path has to be different than others because their path before you was unsuccessful. And they're wanting you to make sure that your image stays for what they believe you really are. So once you start cheek to cheeking and once you start putting on these pajamas, you're tearing away that pride and armor that you supposed to be walking around with. Man, ain't no samurais gonna ever take pictures together in no matching pajamas. Remember that
Christmas morning.
Samurais ain't doing that, man. They're not out here doing that.
Yo, they're doing that because they want to show to be equal. So they're trying to show to be equal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that too.
Like if we're wearing the same thing, guess what? We're equal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like subconsciously, it's an equality move. Like, yo, he's wearing the same thing that I'm wearing. So guess what? We're equal now. You know what I'm saying? Like it's an illusion. They're trying to like push that narrative. Like, oh yeah, it goes back to like the empowerment equality thing. It's just like, well, wait a minute, we're not equal. We're different. You know what I'm saying?
Alfie,
So
if I ever see Alfie cheek to cheek on social media, man, I'm deleting everything I have. I'm telling you right now, I won't be. I won't be like, I know my bro, and
leaning in all nice.
I like what you said, bro. Like I gotta use that one because that's the real shit. I need to be the ghost in your life. That's the realest shit, bro.
I need to be a ghost in your life. Yeah.
With women, I ain't never been propositioned to dress alike and none of that bullshit and French kiss and all of that, but I've had women that like, oh, rep me. And I'll be telling them like, bruh, you don't understand. I'm a guy who has never done that before. Like I've been in a committed relationship, but I've never been let me show her my girl to you type. So if I do that, it's gonna be ass out for you. You thinking it's gonna be attention. It's gonna be the wrong attention. Because now you got women who don't even give a fuck about me that's giving all the fuck about me now. And it's your fault.
Hey, check this out. You want to be the dude who she's afraid to show off.
Yeah.
Because because she knows if she does, her friends are gonna be like, "What's up with him?"
Wow. Wow. Wow.
You want your girl to keep you secret. If she is showing you off around like that, she doesn't think that you're all that.
Wow.
That's
I love it. Wait. That's an interesting title of Walker. Wait, because think about it. A lot of these women these days, modern women, so to speak, really got to get that attention, right? So part of it, that's interesting balance between wanting to show off, but at the same time, not running a risk that her nasty ass, dirty ass homegirls might push up on dude later. That's an interesting point you just made.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Well, that's why there's more than one. But the one that's dropping it like deep in her brain, you know, like he's like fucking her mind, right? She's not going to be revealing any of that stuff because he's going to take her on a ride like she's never been on before. And she's like, holy shit, I do not want my friends to steal this guy away from me.
And they're selfish. So she wants to keep him all to herself.
Exactly.
Right?
So she's keeping
like
you
anything of value.
Probably for a very good reason.
Especially if she's low-key
just
intimidated by that level up. One of the brothers on the panel made that point, and that was Supreme Gems, that point of where women becoming intimidated when a dude levels them up. But just to circle it back to that, that's an interesting thing. Women's need for attention relative to, their girls might try to swoop them up versus being intimidated.
Either that or you are such an embarrassment that she doesn't want to admit anyone to see that shit. But hey, I wanted to somebody was talking about like managing bad behavior, okay? And I wanted to put something in here because it's never talked about. And I do it because like I've got kids, and you got to do this sort of thing. You can't just manage negative behavior. You actually also have to condition positive behavior, right? So it has to do with rewards and things like that. Just like with kids, like it's not always like a punishment. It could just be like removal of something. Like, you know, they like something, so you remove that thing. You say you're not allowed to have that. You're not allowed to do this, that, and the other, right? Or like a restriction. But then also when they do something right, okay, it's rewarding the positive behavior because you're conditioning the person to do more of that good thing, right? And you condition them to like the praise more than fearing the punishment, right? And kind of like, and I talk to my guys like this. It's kind of like when you like run a business, right? You kind of want to be like the best boss, where you know in the back of your mind, like you could get fired. It's not like you're a teacher, you got like tenure and you can't get fired for anything or whatever. It's like just a regular job, okay? So you know you could get fired, right? But the boss is telling you what to do, how to do it, and he challenges you to do better, right? And then when you do well, he's like, hey, you know, Justin, you did such a great job this week. Lunch is on me. Oh, Justin, your year was great. Here's a bonus on me, like all that, right? And then when people are treated that way, like when women are treated, they're rewarded, but also like managed and punished for like the poor behavior, but also the positive behavior is reinforced. It conditions more positive behavior because they want to keep those, because the brain wants to keep those feel-good chemicals rolling. And if you're the manager of those feel-good chemicals, you got your your thumb on the dial, then you know, you get more positive results. You know, basically, it's like, you know, you get more with honey than you do with shit. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. I want to bring Trav in on this comment, and then you say what you. I want to know what Trav got to say about this one.
What?
If men need all these psychological mind tricks, just be in a relationship they're already lost. What you got to say?
I mean, I agree and don't agree, because the thing is that you're trying to look at a relationship and dealing with women like it's completely logical, and it's not. You know what I'm saying? How we respond to stuff is not how women respond to stuff, and vice versa. So you have to be aware of, when you do certain things, how men are going to take it and how women are going to take it. Now, I'm not going to do too much, you know what I'm saying? But there are some things you're going to have to do if you have a woman and you want it to be long term. There's no way around it. You just want to minimize what you have to do. Now, as far as a woman sharing you, I agree about the ghost thing, but then I somewhat disagree too. And here's why I say that. Because it depends on how you share them. So I have women that I'll talk to and I'll be ghost, but they'll try to share me to everybody, and I'll have people trying to add me on my page, and it's private. And then I'll talk to my chicks and I'll be like, yeah, I told this person about you, and they thought your memes were funny, and they think I was showing them your page and they think you're really cool, and they're trying to add you. I'm like, I don't know that person. Don't have them adding my page. You know what I'm saying? But she was trying to show me off because she's like, this dude's the shit. You know what I'm saying? And then I've had women who will want me to take them to their job because I do coding. And if they're teachers, they're like, it would be cool if you came to the class and taught my kids about coding. And then I said no, but I've had like women who like, yeah, I tried to show you to my boss, and they have bosses that want to get down with them. Maybe they are not, like, yeah, boss said no, but I think it's because he's jealous that I like you or something like that. So it depends on how they share you. Because some women like to share me, so like, well, shit.
Yeah, and I can agree. I agree with that a little bit, but I will say this though too. It's like the woman that's always been in my presence is always like, when she's talking in the room without me around, she's sounding like me.
Facts.
So she's already knowing. Do not include this man into none, because he don't want to be involved with none of this. Like she knows right. me. She knows that I'm not going to be involved with this. Even like I'm no lie. This is true story. I've overheard her say things like this to her homies. She be like, yeah, y'all gonna have to go without me because he ain't doing that. That ain't something he gonna do, and y'all know he ain't gonna do that. So, and they're even her friends that say, yeah, he ain't doing that. We not gonna even ask you that, because they already know that the boyfriends or husbands they're with, they're gonna go online. They're walking compromise. Everything they got going on in their life, they're gonna go for it. So the thing is, for me, she knows me enough to know, okay, he ain't gonna do this. But some things she may ask because she's uncertain of. You know what I mean? And not being certain of because I haven't disclosed this is something I will do for you. You know what I mean? But other than that, man, yeah, don't include me with nothing. I'm a ghost, and she knows that. Like, I don't even want your family to follow me.
Right.
I mean,
don't follow me. I don't want them to follow me on social media because I don't want them to even question anything about me. What they see, would they see me in person, that's exactly who they're gonna get. So on my social media, I'm nothing different, but I may use language and things to try to like really mess somebody up in the head because I'm with the smoke. And sometimes I don't want to be disrespectful to the elders. You know what I mean? So my language is going to vary. You know what I mean? So that's another reason why I don't want to
get it either.
Yo, and that's let me piggyback on what 50 said. That's so important, because I told Afi this a while ago and shit. Like, when I'm in relationships, sometimes I don't even tell some of my boys, my weaker friends, how I manage my relationship, because the way that I manage my relationship or get the shit that I get away with is gonna make a lesser man feel some type of way. So what 50 said, he doesn't even want a woman's family to follow him, is because sometimes that's part of his instinctive nature to protect her. Because if they are too in-depth into your relationship, now you're going to open up a can of worms on the woman and her family, and that's going to make her feel conflicted. So at the end of the day, we talk about if a man is the shit, a woman's not going to show him off. The same could be said about a man's woman, somebody who's like in a high ranking position, keep that shit tight, because at the end of the day, all the distractions she's going to have, the way that you managing your relationship and your program in your household, if you will, that's going to cause scrutiny in her and something that she can't handle, which in turn will give you a headache, because you're going to have to reprogram her every single time she's questioning the situation that she's in. So you got to protect your shit, man. Everything that's important to you don't have to be shared. You don't have to share everything about your life to an audience, to people that will never understand it and will resent you for it because you're able to do it and they can't. You gotta be careful with that.
Well, it's also, let me hop in real quick on that off of AVs. It's like, how many rich people you know ride around, flash all their cash? You know, I work in Hollywood, so I deal with a lot of wealthy people. And I'm telling you right now, half the wealthy people that I ran into, they look like bums, right? They keep their fortune tight, right? They don't flash it. So you out there blasting, this is your girl, or this is your man, this is your man. Guess what? You just advertise to everybody that's what you got. And guess what? You got people be like, okay, I want him, or I want her. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they'll start thinking like, oh, I could level up on him because I could get her now. Because now, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, rich people don't flash their cash. So why were you flashing your relationship? You know, like that. I also want to hit this things that this from Lotus is where it says like, if men need all these psychological mind tricks just to be in a relationship they already lost. It's only a psychological mind trick if you are not that.
Right.
Exactly. I was thinking the same
you know
thing.
What I'm saying? Like, that's what you
Wait, you said if you're not what? What'd you say?
If you're not that dude.
If you're not that dude, it's a psychological mind trick because it's not who you really are.
It's a strategy.
Wow. You know what I'm saying? If you're about it, that's who you are, then it's not a mind trick. That's just how you move.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's only a psychological mind trick to dudes that are not about it. So yeah, you will already lose in that case when it's not really you. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's why I left that up there, because I wanted to touch on that real quick, Lotus. Bruh, like, and I'm telling y'all right now, we hitting that 2-hour mark. So if y'all got paid, if y'all want to make an extra long stream,
it's New Year's Day. What y'all doing?
It's time to hit that Cash App and that Super Chat, bro, because I see y'all over there and Kevin Samuels spending all your fucking money. Y'all need to spend it over here. So this is what I want to say about that. See, Lotus, the thing is, it's like riding a bike or algebra. It only sounds like a lot, like he just said. See, when you're learning it, it sounds like a lot, but when it becomes you and your principles, then you don't think about what you do.
That's a fact.
That's the whole thing. Yeah. It's so to you, if I'm unpacking some shit to you, it may sound like 20 things, right? But according to my actions, it's really only like 3 or 4 things. Because certain things I'm not thinking about, like you riding a bike. Okay, let me line the bike up. Okay, so let me line the bike up. Let me straighten it out. Let me put my foot down on the right pedal. Let me then put my hand on the handlebars. Then let me get the other foot and then push forward. And then let me get my momentum going. So that's like 10 steps right there. But when you do it, is it 10 steps or is it 1 or 2? You know what I'm saying? So that's what I wanted to say about that.
Yeah. I mean, another thing too that I've noticed is a lot of these problems that come with women they be like, well, it's because there's not fathers in the home. I'm gonna say a lot of it is because there are fathers in the home too, because there's a lot of simp ass fathers, bro. There's a lot of these fathers that got women that don't realize how their women used to get down because they don't know, how women really get rocked. They think that their woman's one way when they're really not. They wifed some woman that was one of the first women that gave them constant attention. And then they want to play that princess game with their kids. And they don't realize that by them doing that, they're already creating little monsters out of these women from the jump. Because, bro, when like little girls from the start, they know how to try to get what they want. You know what I'm saying? Even if they're good girls, like women know from early on, it's in their DNA how to manipulate and finesse. And you got to know how to deal with that. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, you actually need some more player-ass fathers out here, with integrity. Because then they can really know how to make a woman and raise a woman that's going to be a complete woman for a man. You know what I'm saying?
Most men, too, right now, though, most men, they're raising men. They're supposed to be raising daughters, but they're raising young men. They always try to make them change tires. Oh, I don't want him to depend on no man for nothing.
That's true.
You're raising the same woman you would never date. And it's amazing. They
That's
never
true.
want to
That's a
take
good point.
accountability for that. They never want to take accountability for being part of the problem on why women need extra super-sized structure in their life when they get older and totally reset, because a lot of fathers do not manage their daughters like they manage their women in their own lives. They can be some of the strongest men, but then all of a sudden, I'm talking about straight Mac game men that's dealing with women superbly. All of a sudden, they get 2 daughters. And all of a sudden they get blitzed by emotion, and they just, I got to make sure my daughter is able to, change the linen on these couches, and I'm gonna get her this 80 tool set because I don't want her to call no man. No, get out there and pump this gas because I want you. They're creating a problem, and so this women get older. Like women get older, I'm telling you, and then they look at their father as their husbands when they get older, because they believe that because the father was teaching them things that she felt that he valued. When a man doesn't do that and try to teach her something that's legitly what she's supposed to have learned from her father, then she looks foreign to him. And all of a sudden, father's the one that's been holding you back all the time. That's why I always tell men this, man. When you get a woman and she's under your program, you go to that father's house and you make sure she is you sit that woman on your lap. All these men trying to fandango around, walk on eggshells around the father. I'm groping. Like, I ain't disrespectful, meaning, for the kids, but he needs to know this is my damn woman. And I'm cupping cakes. Hey, I need you to get up and make my plate. You know how I want it. Get up in there and do that. You know what I mean? Because he needs to know that the program has now shifted from you to me. And if you got a problem, we can go right outside and we can have a conversation about it. But this is the only one you get. We're going to communicate in regards of how this program is going to run, how you're not going to be involved in your daughter's life over at my house. Your influence stops here in this house. And you can talk to them like this. Just be a man about it. But a lot of men try to avoid that. My bad, I got long-winded, man.
Here's a thought.
Let me read the super chat. Shout out to NYC. He said peace to the chat and the panel super chat. And Natasha, what I tell you, baby, I told you need the profile picture. Don't come around these times without the profile picture. You don't listen. That's how come. I see you say I want a super chat, but Afi is bougie. I'm humble. I'm not bougie. I love you, and you love me. I love you too, but you love me so much.
Google Images avatar.
You can send 5. You gotta take off the art pictures. The only art you can have on there is the shit that I paint. That's it. If I didn't make it, you can't put it.
Can I say something to what he just said?
Go ahead, Topaz.
Okay, so here's the thing, right? So even with the example earlier that somebody gave where you're going to check the woman with the dad in the back seat and all that, you should be able to. And here's why I say that. Is because if he raised a woman, if you're telling her something where she got out of pocket and it's making her a better woman, he should be on your side. Like, yeah, I didn't raise you like that. I didn't teach you that. He was supposed to check you. And now that he did, I know you in good hands. So for me, like, I understand the sentiment behind it. I would be cool with everything except the cupping of the cakes. And that's just because my parents don't even know about sex. They don't, but I get the sentiment behind it. I get it. I understand where you're going with that. Here's the problem. We have a lot of Black people that have family members that are selfish and also envious. And we have a lot of people that aren't raising their kids to do appropriate things. So therefore, when they look at a woman's husband checking her, oh, well, we taught you that it was okay to do that. He's going against our family values. And to be honest with you, that's exactly what it is. If their family is cool with loud, boisterous women, when you try to check your woman, because there are good advantages to not being like that. You get more places in life. So when you try to tell her something that's going to do well for her going forward, they take it personal. And then now they feel like it's a shot at them. And technically it is, but it's supposed to be a shot at them because they teach her appropriately. So if you should have that are coming over to that house. Like if the dad comes over to the house, he needs to only be doing so to either stop a nigga that's abusive and fucking up. That's the only reason. Or he's over there to tell her, yes, he is correct. You were not supposed to be acting like this. Now get your shit together. So it shouldn't be a problem to have family, that pitch in. It's the problem when they're interfering.
Because you're so smart, you turned me on.
All right, I wanted to hop in and say what 50 said.
Right now, baby, you're so smart.
Real quick, I wanted to piggyback what 50 said and maybe pose a question. So 50 mentioned fathers are raising masculine women, right? To a degree, right? So that is part of the problem. And I brought this up with Afi before, how we have feminism has raised such masculine women that they don't even know how to be feminine.
Bro, facts.
You know what I'm saying? And then that point that he highlighted, dads are teaching little girls to change their oil. It's funny because I have a 17-year-old daughter. I never taught her to change the oil. I told her to stay her ass in the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? And not in a sexy way, but because you know what? That's where you're going to thrive at. Because a real dude, your man should know how to change your oil for you. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't have to do it for you. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
1950 took my thing to the next level. I'm glad you dropped that. You took my point and went to 2.0.
Hey, real quick, y'all go real quick. I got to go upstairs real quick. I can hear y'all, but I got to step away. Cool?
So, go for it.
So the reason why I'm glad you said that is because remember I said you'll be like, well, we talk about this program and why is it that certain women will deal with a guy that doesn't have a program? Because the roles are reversed. She's masculine. She likes going after the feminine men because she's so independent. She likes going against these guys that are all over the place and shit like that because she's leading the shit. That's what it creates. It creates role reversals. Now, a real masculine man comes into her life. She's like, oh, hell nah. I'm not letting no man run me. You know what I'm saying? And that's where part of that comes in. That's where you get these career women who are overly focused on their career, but they'll date like dudes that are like the total opposite of that. Now they're 40 years old, got the career, and they don't got no family. That's a part of the problem.
Yeah, I know one thing. I don't really do. Your career, as long as your career is beneficiary to the household and the program, then I don't have no problem. But if it's kids involved, I always say, traditionally, I want a woman who better take care of my kids. So I don't want you to be dropping my kids off at daycare. So I'm gonna provide and make sure that doesn't happen, right? But that's solely you understanding it. If we have kids, your primary being is to make sure you're raising these kids. And women are they have so much value, right? They have so much value, especially when she can just be herself and understanding your presence, that she could be something greater, right? And when she's teaching these kids on a regular basis, nobody's a better teacher than a mom and dad of the kids. So when she's raising these kids and her whole purpose in life is planning to drop these kids off because she wants to be selfish in her career and say, you know what? Oh, no matter if I'm off for 9 months and then 3 months after the baby's born, I'm going back to work, not because I have to, but because I want to. Right. So the thing is now she's making a conscious effort of saying that these kids are secondary. Everybody in this household is secondary because your legacy is first. Part of your legacy are your kids. So if your kids are being dropped off to daycare and no telling what's going on there, then what does that say about the strength of the man in the household to make sure that doesn't happen? It says that he's allowing these things to happen, and his legacy does not really matter. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And if you say that, and just real quick, if you sell a woman, you want her to be traditional, a lot of them today will say that's chauvinistic.
Well, I'm chauvinistic then, and I always tell them that. So like, call me Fidel Castro too, because I'm a controlling MF.
Exactly.
I'm a person who controls me. I control me. I don't control her because she knows the options that she creates on her own. Like, meaning, if you don't want to be here, you have a decision to make.
Let's go.
Right.
But again, like a lot of women will look at how I'm talking to you gentlemen and think, oh, this man he's did that by, but then the real women can really see behind it. You know what I mean? So those are the ones you want anyway. Those are the ones who are going to know, okay, this guy he's solid. You know what I mean? This is the brother that I need. You know what I mean?
And that's
you
the
should,
thing.
Like,
you should never have to tell a woman that you want a traditional situation.
Yeah.
Right.
Because if you're already living that way, the woman will see how you live your life. You don't have
You don't have to say it.
No marketing campaign, no convincing, no discussion, no laying it out for them so they can understand. They should already be able to just observe that based on how she feels when she's in your presence and looking at how you live your life. Like you shouldn't have to like mention the word traditional to that woman at all, if that's what you're about.
You even saying that
a lot
speaks
of-
to the whole social conditioning element. Just to kind of cycle back to that real quick, like that's a heavy point. We got to understand that, like the idea that you guys are closed-minded, you guys are limited thinking. We're in a progressive new age where there's equity and all this good shit, right? Like all this hyper fake woke shit. Barrier, I don't know. Afi knows what I'm talking about if he was in here.
Smart, we're
This type
dumb.
of shit got a lot of women super pseudo fake ass empowered, fake woke. This shit is crazy to see how they're getting played. So then you say something like a woman should be operating, or the kind of woman I prefer and want is more of a traditional caliber. And they say, well, that's chauvinistic. It's like, oh, because y'all been brought up and indoctrinated into this fake woke shit. And they don't even realize how they've been social conditioned, because that's how social conditioning works, right? Crazy.
Well, it's crazy because it's like they make it seem like, oh, you're controlling. No, there's a difference between controlling men and men are controlling their frame. All right. And 50 was talking about that. You know, I control my frame. I'm not controlling you. If you don't fit in my frame, you know the alternative. If you step out of pocket, you know what's going to happen. It's not me punishing you. It's me saying, guess what? I don't want that in my life. So guess what? I don't need you in my life. That's not controlling.
Propaganda, bro.
You're not going to convince me, or it's not controlling to do that. What's controlling is like, I want this done this way all the time, right here, right now, and you have to be done by 5 o'clock. Like, okay, that could be a little controlling and telling them how they're supposed to operate. I'm not telling them how to operate. I'm telling them how I operate and what works for me. Okay. And if expectations, anything different than that, you could do it somewhere else. Like, I'm not going to control you and tell you have to stay here. If you want to move on, you can move on. That's not controlling. I'm just saying I don't have to accept it.
Hey, I got a question for Glenn and Justin. Now, this is going to seem like I'm being funny, but I'm dead ass serious. And all my black cats up here,
don't be funny with me.
This is what I want to
Don't
know.
be funny.
Yeah, because y'all be thinking I'm playing. I'm just a witty guy. I be dead ass serious. Sometimes I don't be joking. So I want to set the tone because I'm not joking. I'm not being funny. Do you guys got to deal with the fake Hotep bitches? That's what I want to know.
The fake what?
Hotep bitches.
Yeah, they be hoes at first, and then they find themselves, and now all of a sudden they got the earring in the nose, and they burn all this feng shui and all of this bullshit. Like I got to deal with
sage, the
sage and shit.
Y'all, do y'all have that over there, or do y'all got to deal with that, or what?
Okay,
I'm talking about like maybe hippie white chicks, because I know both of y'all, you got souls.
Like so like hippies, is that what you're asking? Like girls who practice Wicca and shit like that.
Yeah, well, we call them fake Hotep bitches over here. So
yeah, man, I've banged some witches before.
Fake Hotep bitches,
Birkenstocks and shit.
Yeah, burning sage.
I know all about that.
Yeah, burning sage and rubbing crystals.
Yeah, like all that.
Yeah, of course.
All right, I can really answer this because, I've really dealt with this. So I have a degree in religion from Liberty, and when me and my girl first got together, she was into that shit, and I was like, that's just not working for me. Not gonna work for me. It's not biblically sound. It just doesn't work for me. All right, and you know what? It took her a minute to realize I wasn't playing around with that shit, and sure enough, she quit that. But let me clarify. Are you asking this because I'm pigment challenged? Because if you're going down that road,
he said I'm pigment challenged.
I have a cousin named Safari that is darker than anybody on this damn set. Okay.
Yeah, I was like, isn't his name Glenn Lawrence? That sounds black as fuck to me. I was like,
Larry. If you say Larry, you black. That just means like
Oh
Larry.
goddamn.
Come and get
Yeah,
Larry.
you know, and to get what you're at, like, yes, I have. I've messed with all kinds of flavors, and some of them have been, you know, self-proclaimed witches, you know, crystal rubbers,
Bitches.
you know, where they're
Yeah.
like,
Said
you know,
crystal
and
rubbers.
yeah,
That's
and,
that
and it's
Wiccan shit.
nothing. I mean, it's nothing weird about it. They just, I don't know, it's like a hobby that, you know, has a style to it, but. I mean, whatever. Just still just women. You know what I mean?
Wait, what's
But-
more odd? The chicks that go from hoes to the crystal rubbing
Let me just
a fake. Wait, which one is worse? To go from a hoe to that, or from that back?
Oh, I mean, no, they're still hoes, just look different.
look. Hey,
You know, they just got a different style. Like, I don't know. They just a hoe with a crystal in their hand now.
It's one right now. We're Principal Bay. If you up in
I mean,
here,
no hate, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not judging or anything. It's just, it is what it is.
Yeah, I just have to keep policy. I don't fuck with that shit because look, I don't need nobody turning into the Exorcist in the middle of the night. Okay, while you trying to sleep and their head spinning. Nope, you can keep all the crystals and
I
all
don't
the
deal-
stage burning and all that shit to yourself.
I know it's crazy because I get a lot of flack for this too, but I don't deal with women that take any medication for anything I do with their brain.
Oh, yeah.
Anything
Wow.
got to do any
I'm not
medication that
against
got
that.
why
to
you
do
say that? I'm about
if
to
you're
smoke
on
right now.
mental health.
I'm about to smoke right now.
Mental health, I don't deal with women.
Yeah.
See, maybe when I was younger, I had a little more energy for it, right?
More
You know,
tolerance, right?
I more tolerance.
Hey, bro.
But like as I got older, I'm like, you know what? If you know, I go in there, I got to use the restroom real quick. I go in her bathroom, I open up that thing, and I see any. I'm
See
telling you,
some Zoloft and shit.
Bruh,
All
I'm
kind of.
telling you, because anybody that
Good
can
dog.
veer away from your program at any time and blame it on their emotion, that's a problem.
Wow.
Bruh.
Like I'm telling you, if they forget some pills, they stop talking about the pills, and all of a
Yo.
sudden they start turning different. I don't
That's a
have
big
time for that, man.
That is
I'm not
big.
investing my time in anybody with no
Hey,
mental health.
Let me chime in on that real quick. I dated with somebody
Hold on, Trav, because
Go
I'm
ahead.
gonna forget. Then you go, because look, because it wasn't as random as y'all thought. Because it's this girl. I don't want to say her name, but the thing is, she was okay. Basically, the baddest chick in my middle school. Like she was the top chick in middle school, right? The top one as far as everything, looks, body, the way she dressed. She was the top chick, right? And then so later on in life, between the ages of like 21 and 25, she was a real life prostitute. Like not a whole like having sex for everybody, but like a real life prostitute, right? And her name was Michelle Cans, right? You see how funny that is?
He gave the real name.
Yeah, her name was Michelle Cans. Like you get it, Michelle Can. She had some big ass titties, so it was Michelle Cans. So we was looking today. I seen on her Instagram, bro. She is like super hotep. She black power and all this fucking shit, all this burning all of this shit and dancing tribe dances and all of this shit. And I'm like, man, she was a straight hoe though, like a real prostitute. And then these cats will just meet her on Instagram or whatever and just be thinking that's why we call them fake hotel bitches. See, because she's like she was a real life prostitute. And like I said, she used to be the baddest chick in middle school, and then she turned to a hoe, and now she's like Miss in universe.
Afi, you know what I've seen the equivalent in like white community? It's more like when they're younger, they just kind of live like an atheist, and then once hitting that, you know, coming to like a awakening moment, then they're like, oh, I found myself, I found Christ, and then become like all chaste, and they start wearing long dresses and shit like that, and you know,
it's
that would be that I think is the equivalent that I've seen.
Yeah, we were laughing because we were like, look at Michelle Cans. Over here trying to kick knowledge and shit, talk about some black power, trying to tell women what to do. But they don't know. I know her from school. It's like she was a real hoe though. A real one. Not like sleeping with a lot of guys, but like back page. Oh, girlfriend experience. Let me book her like ho-ho.
Yeah.
Not a ho-ho, but a ho-ho-ho. Now,
yeah, I see a lot of them. I see a lot of them on my feed too. I got some old tramps that, you know, used to tramp around, and they in those pajamas, man, cheek to cheek with somebody, man. And a lot of these men, I'm telling you, they don't. I'm telling you, my whole thing is women gonna have partners. That's understandable, but it's a certain mindset of the woman that you're looking for, right? That mindset of her own value. What does she find value in with herself? And if she felt like, okay, I'm not gonna let no man come inside of me raw dogging. I'm not gonna I'm not going to be sleeping with all type of men because they saying X, Y, and Z. You want a woman who's valuing herself in these ways. A lot of these men, they just totally just give up on her past all the way. They say things like, "Oh, body count don't matter" and all that. Look, I don't need to ask her count. I just need to know the mindset, because I can tell off of her mindset on exactly what occurred in her life. So at that point, I'll make the decision whether or not if I want to share space with this woman. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Like, let me chime in on that, because so 1950, I'm glad you brought up. You're on fire tonight, and you got the fire in the background too.
I appreciate you, brother. Yeah.
So bruh, so I dated one girl that had very severe anxiety, and I didn't judge her for that. Like, I didn't hold it against her. I don't even think she's a bad person, but that anxiety was strong. Like, one time we were kicking it, and then like I had to pull over on the side of the road because her anxiety was so bad. Like, I was just like, she had a mental breakdown, and I didn't judge her for it. But at the same time, I was like, I can't commit to this, bro. Like, I'm not going to be rude to you. She actually told me, you're like the first guy I've been with that hasn't judged me for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of guys would laugh at me about this. Like, I didn't laugh at her, and I was supportive, but I couldn't give her my all because of that. I was like, nah, like, I won't be mean to you, but hey, bro, I got options. Like, if I can find somebody that's cool but doesn't have that, like, hey, I don't have to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? But I was still cool with her, but I just couldn't give her my all. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to deal with that.
Man, you got the super chat. Go for it, brother.
Shout out to Devin for the super chat. He said, "Happy New Year's, IP. You're a oh, thank you, bro. See, I don't be knowing how to talk to me right, bro. It's certain shit I like. Thanks for the solid content. Yeah, I like for guys to say you smart. I like your books and shit. Y'all be just saying I'm a player and I'm good with hoes, bro. It's more to me than that, bro. I can't help that, you know. So shout out to Devin, a special one, and he on TV shows and everything. We got cats on TV shows putting the super chats, haters.
Salute. Yo, you know, you'd be surprised how many women are medicated, man. And it's not just clinically, you know what I mean? 50 said that, you know, it's a female attribute to cope. A lot of coping mechanisms. A lot of these bros are drinking wine every day. That's another form of medication. You know what I mean?
Unpack that a little bit, because wine became a trend now, bro. Just like
they all say that. Wine o'clock.
Yeah. Bro. Like, women don't even.
It's wine o'clock.
Coffee like that. And shit. They don't take these fucking pictures, and then the wine. Oh, bad bitch problems. You have a wine picture, like, man, you don't even like wine. Get the fuck out of here. Go ahead.
Yeah, a lot of these bros are medicated, man, and you know they drinking wine. So now they're becoming inebriated and shit. You know what I'm saying, every day to cope, and that's part of their medication. So just like how 50 said, if you going on a trip and you forget your medication, you different. When a broad ain't drinking as much because you just like, yo, you need to chill with that shit. She starts to get irritable, and if it's not in your program, it's not something that you trying to do. You got to see now the relationship's based on the fact that you always fucked up. I mean, you're doing the Bobby and Whitney thing. So now that's part of medication too. So again, it's all about knowing ourselves. We talk about this, circle back. Who's at fault here? Everybody has a role in what's going on, but at the end of the day, it's a man's responsibility to know himself, to identify if the broad and her habits, her dependencies are in line with your program, your purpose, whatever the hell you're doing. Because a lot of these women are coping, living in the Alice in Wonderland type of environment, always fucked up in order for them to function. And when they're not, they're part of reality, then they're just a totally different person. So, and you know, it's all about coping. You got to look at these things before you decide whether this woman is going to be even allowed to kind of campaign for you, bro. Because there's so many alcoholic women out here. And again, I've had habits and I like to drink. So I can see it takes one to know one type shit. So I'm like, yo, hurricane parties and shit, when there was the beer bug, all these broads are going to Costco buying all this wine, drinking every day, and they thinking that it's because it's wine, it's okay. It's not okay.
It's classy
every day.
Nah. It's just classy getting fucked up.
Right.
It's like how a prostitute think of a call girl think of a prostitute like, ew, she walks the street. I stay at home and sell my pussy. Like,
right.
It's the same thing. Hey, Bill, who you say I should marry? Michelle Cans? If for a super chat, I'll tell you a story. I got a good juicy story about her. It is disrespectful. I don't want.
Hey, Afi, real quick. Peace out, brother. I gotta slide out, but I want to give respect and salutes to the whole panel.
Shout out to the whole
Yeah.
chat. I'm gonna pop back
Okay,
in the
shout
chat in a
out,
little
brother.
bit,
Great
but
having you, AM1.
yeah, this is the most fun panel I've been on in a minute. Salute to my brother Afi.
It's always the most fun. I got the best panels.
Yeah, that shit was fun. All right, peace,
Yeah.
y'all.
All right,
Peace,
man.
Please, y'all
Happy
make
New
sure
Year.
y'all follow AM1 or you put your link in the chat.
Mm.
AM1 when you get off.
For
Now,
sure.
I
Appreciate you,
will
brother.
say this about like these addictions and stuff. Like, you know, I've dealt with women, not with, I would say, not addictions, but habits. You know, and if it's someone that I thought was of value, right? I saw admirable qualities. I would get in their head and start replacing that with me. So I become their high, right? And it's like I kind of like seep in there slowly, like a little virus. And the only, but not, it's like not like every person, because I do know that like if you do this, like I mean, this is like verging on like some dark triad shit. So, but like, you know, I'm not gonna get too deep into it, but like, and like psychological conditioning. But if you do this with somebody that you actually find of value, like you can actually help them out quite a bit. But if you do this and you don't care, you're going to screw them up worse than when you found them.
Right.
You know, so, you know, like you can get in there and like, you know, start touching all the various G spots between their ears. And, you know, it's not just sexual, it's all connected. And it's like, you know, you can actually turn a lot of things around, like really in an amazing way. But, you know, you have to actually want to have that person in your life, you know? So obviously
Power
vetting
comes
is
with
important.
Responsibility, right? Yeah.
Of course. Yeah.
Taking
Because,
control.
you know, it's like the, you know, I just popped like some little shit, like with some of my dudes, and they're like, holy crap. Like this is like wizard magic stuff. I'm like, yeah, it is. So, you know, get your shit straight first, because once that woman is like totally like I call it like converted, you're like when like convert to like a religion, like once she's converted to you, like you start imprinting on her mind. And that is like you have a lot of responsibility when it comes to that sort of thing. You know, you can't just like be like, oh, I'm gonna like smash you and just forget you. Like you're gonna leave a severely damaged person out there in the world, and then make those drinking problems even worse.
For
you
sure.
know?
It's all about the mind game. Hey, real quick, I want to shout out my boy Mosman, because all my cats who fuck with me on my wrestling channel, that's one of my co-hosts too. Because of them the day ones. If you watching wrestling with me, I'll fuck with you heavy. I love to see people over there.
I love the avatar too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you are a consistent supporter, you notice that Afi has a potent mind. This man is literally a teacher, a certified walking library of wisdom and info. That's facts, and I want to emphasize on that because I be dropping major fire boss games on you cats, bro. I hope you know that. And I can give y'all 10 gems, but y'all will only know us the 2 about how to get in pussy. I don't be liking that shit, bro. I'm just keeping it real. I'll give Topaz, I'll give these cats fire boss, life, how to do everything in their life and all of that shit. And then the business part, that what did I say, Topaz? Okay, the date part. Like, what the fuck, bro? I'm telling you now, and this was just the other day, and this is no shot, but I just got to use it as an example. I remember a cat. He read 3 of my books, and then I told him to get back to me. So he got back to me and was like, "Yeah, I finished Dominance Mindset of a King, Keys to Crown, and Conversations. None of these books taught me about if a woman is seeing somebody or not." And that shit kind of conflicted me. Like, bro, how the fuck are you reading all 3 of these books? Conversation with the Mind is a psychology storybook. Dominance Mindset is a mindset dating book, and then Keys to Future Yourself is a personal development motivating book. So how did you read all 3 of those books? And then the next feedback is he didn't say what she's dating. So what the fuck, bro?
Yeah, that's a comprehension problem right there.
Yeah, bro. I'm like, I was kind of low key pissed off. Like, I didn't reveal it, but I was kind of like, bro, what the fuck, bro?
People don't want that top-notch steakhouse. A lot of times they want McDonald's. That's why McDonald's is the top-selling chain. You know what I'm saying? Like people
I heard him ask me a couple of questions and that too. Not that be the takeaway. You know what I'm saying? That was a good book. So, anyways, yeah. So, how I know if these bitches fuck with somebody, bro? What the fuck?
Well,
the Crane super chat and John JW with the super chat. Fire pound. These male panel discussions never lack substance and depth. We definitely appreciate it goes beyond the appreciate you, bro. Yeah, we get deep over here, bro. We don't. Y'all notice that? Y'all like them panels where cats be arguing and all of that shit. That's what y'all like. That's what y'all like.
And especially in this day and age, I'll just say this real quick. See, we've talked about this before. Back in the day, sex was more important. Like with women, if you got like bossed up, like if you got like head back in the day, that was a big deal. Like that was like, oh shit. Like we've talked about this many times. Bruh, with the internet, I don't know if y'all listen to like I'd mostly date black women. Like if you listen to what they listen to, they don't even listen to men rappers anymore. There's a plethora of women rappers that rap like female Too Shorts. So with that said, bro, like sex isn't as big of a deal anymore. Like women are getting it in. So them doing something with you don't mean that they're totally into you or they're not going to dip out, even if it's good. So in this day and age, if you really want to capture a woman, it's the stuff outside the bedroom that you're providing, bruh. And sometimes women will deal with the guy that's not as good in the bedroom because he took their mind. So when cats just want to do all this elementary stuff of A, B, C to get in between the legs, it's like, nah, bruh, advance to the next level, because not only is it going to help yourself, which is the number one thing you want to help, is help yourself. That's going to capture women's minds more.
Preach. Anybody else got something? Shout out to Deluxe.
Yeah, I just want to kind of bring this around back to the topic. Like, so I think it's a good consensus to say that we all agree that, like, you know, men are the problem, right? And I'm always a person that, like, okay, well, once we figure out the problem, what tools can we give for the solution? Because again, we can't change women. We can change men's behavior and how men operate. So, like, I would, you know, like to see what the panel thinks. Like, what are like the top tools that you could suggest to a guy that, you know, is coming to this realization that, okay, so I am the problem. How can I fix myself so that I don't have these problems with women? So, like, for the floor, you know.
Well, I think. Oh, go ahead.
Real quick, 50. I'll be brief. I'll say this, my G. It's evident all this free content, all these gems, and all these guys on this panel deliver on a daily, weekly, monthly, yearly basis. All this free content. I think it all boils down to desire, man. I mean, all these tools. There's no real tools unless you really want them, because there's so many channels. 50, Afi, everybody that I fuck with, they've dropped so many gems. And again, it's like therapy, man. Most people want to go to therapy to be heard. Very few people want to be helped. And all this free content out there, there's really no reason why you guys are still asking the same questions or why we continue to be the problems. At the end of the day, man, the whole manosphere and the whole RP community and all that shit is really based on the least important factor in a man's life, and that's women. So at the end of the day, man, if a man really wants to do something and understands his potential value by putting focus on himself, the least important thing in a man's life, which is women, will be an automatic thing. You know what I'm saying? So I don't even think there's any tools, because we could say, listen to this, do that, whole frame, all that shit. But there's a reason why men continue to gravitate to redundant conversations about shit that we know ain't shit, but still need to be said so we can get the views and all that other shit. So I don't know, man, if there's any tools yet. I think a man really has to want to change for it to fucking make sense and for him to implement change.
Hey, let me real quick. I'll be jealous, bro, because you guys get casually fucking gems, bro. Like when I was 17, 18, there was not this type of shit.
That's what I'm saying.
Books and shit like that.
Bro,
like for instance,
I was blessed.
That's my first book that I read. I read that at 9. No pictures, just read it straight through. And that opened up.
These guys should have no complaining.
That's what I'm saying.
But the thing is, I had to have somewhat of awareness. That wasn't a teachable book. If you didn't, if you just can't, a square can't just read that book and just go pimp. Like you got to be at a level to like even connect with it. You know what I'm saying? So you guys get this shit for free. Like we just casually giving y'all hella life experiences that we had to make so many fucking moves. Is this Sir Ism for real or is this a troll? Sir Ism, that's you? Car Ism. He said salute to the channel.
At least he's saluting the channel anyway.
Bro?
So okay. I would say that
I'm on.
they're like, if I mean, there is no short path. You know what I'm saying? Like what Steve the Dean says, like you can't become a surgeon overnight. You know what I mean? So I would say the two things that are good is learning good knowledge, which means getting information from a coach, right? So find yourself a coach who's lived through the shit that you want to learn about. And then second, you have to take action, right? So get out and do stuff that is outside of your comfort zone. If your problems have to do with women, go talk to women. Go talk to a whole bunch of women and fall on your face and get up and keep doing it again and again and again and again. Like that's what we had to do, right? Like, you 50, you me, we're probably around the same age. Like there was no easy way. You had to actually like walk across the dance floor or across the park or whatever, and you had to stick it out there, out in the middle of everybody watching. And
Mac game.
It's
Mac
like
game. Word.
There was no like hitting her in the back channel, like there's no DM like sliding her a meme, like you were the DM. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I would say taking action and finding yourself a coach. That's probably the best way.
I think for me, I'm gonna start off by saying that you can't change what you do not acknowledge. So you have to self-reflect and understand that the path you've taken up to that point has been trash. And in order to change that, you need to change yourself. You know what I mean? You need to change yourself. So, I was fortunate. I had a father and a grandfather that were like beyond their years. And they've taught me a lot. And I think getting punched in my chest when I was really young, saying that's soft and don't ever do that. Men, like they used to always tell me, men forget who the creator is. Who was the creator? He was in the image of a man. You need to carry yourself as a God. And I'll never forget, they used to tell me this when I was really young. And they used to always tell me this because they wanted me to understand the value of a man and what a man's role and place is in the atmosphere, in the universe, right? So I think by telling men to do their research on the significance of being a man, the difference between a male and a man, there's a pure difference. And once you figure that out, I think your path of success is going to be greater, because I don't believe women are a part of building a man. So that's why I always say, do your research on being a man. I like the coach idea because there definitely wasn't no coaches then. If you didn't have a father or a neighborhood hustler or an OG that you talk to, man, you was just shit out of luck. Excuse my language. That's just how it was, man.
The OGs for sure.
Bruh, that
real
was
quick, shout out to Max Julian too. When I did that, I remember. I don't even know. Max, the Mac, he died today. So shout out to him. Now
that's why I said, man, I posted that on my thing, man. That was a tough one. I watched the Mac, man. You know how many times I've seen the Mac, man, Superfly and all the stuff, man.
Yeah.
In this space, a lot of men can't publicly talk about their issues with women and their L's because of ego. You know what I'm saying? Like when I was a kid, like I never lied about it. Like I'd be like, hey, I'm not doing well with them right now when I was young or something like that. Like, but a lot of my friends would like, because I was honest, they would try to like make fun of me in front of everybody. But then when we talked behind closed doors or later on, I'd find out they were lying about all the stuff they were doing. They were really having trouble too. It's just they didn't want to admit it. You know what I'm saying? And then it was like, then when I started getting good, I've said this, I wasn't trying to be a player because my father died when I was young. I just wanted to have a family and substitute what I lost at 13. So when I started getting results with women, I started realizing it wasn't the way I was taught. I was getting like player results, not really realizing what I was doing. I'm like, wait a minute, like that shouldn't work. Like, why? Well, you know what I mean? And then when I found Afi on the internet looking at channels, he was like the first dude where like in 3 words, I was like, he has game. Like, finally, I found somebody, but you didn't see guys like this on the internet. And when we connected, I was like, bruh, you're the best I've heard, bruh. Like I've been waiting for somebody like you my whole life to talk to, because everybody I try to talk to about this in my circle, they think I'm crazy. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Shout out to you for the cover too. Shout out to you for the cover right there. Got me in Ric Flair boss fashion. Go ahead.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I do the avatars, so I did mine. I do Offie's avatars and stuff like that.
Oh, I definitely need one of them, bro. We need to talk.
But yeah, bro, like I was always honest about it. But a lot of men are not honest because they feel like if they're honest about their problems with women and they need help, that it makes them less of a man. Nah, it makes you more of a man because you're willing to put yourself out there and say, hey, I need help. Like Robert Kiyosaki said this in Rich Dad Poor Dad. All pros have coaches.
Appreciate you too.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean? That's all.
Yeah, for sure.
I think for me, what I would say is that like the best advice I could give to anybody is to reflect on themselves. You know, see where your shortcomings are, because you know too often, and this is the conversation we get. We get guys saying, "Oh yeah, well she did this and she did that, or she did this, and because she did that, well then you know what you're not looking at the common denominator in all your problems. Is your own shortcomings. Is yourself. You allowed this. You allowed that. Figure out why you allowed this and you allowed these, or why you moved that way first. Because you can't fix anything unless you realize you know why you did what you did and why you moved the way you moved, you know, and you allow certain things. Until any guy could answer that question and be like, yeah, I fucked up here. I dropped the ball here. This is my mistake. This is why I did it. You know, you can't fix them. They can't be fixed because it's almost like they're acting like women. Women will tell you, well, if you ever got an argument with a girl will be like, oh yeah, well, I was upset because the kids did this, and then the mailman dropped the package off in the rain, and then there's this, and then there's that, and they can tell you why they're mad about everything else, but not in their behavior, what they did wrong. They don't want to address that. And that's what a lot of guys sound like, you know, to me when they're telling me about these problems. It's like, well, she did this, she did that, she's doing, like, what are you doing? Because you're doing something or not doing something that's allowing this to happen. So address that problem first, and then you won't have those problems.
Hey, Glenn, you know what's funny? And I'm not proud of it, but I'm just using this as a teachable moment for you cats. So press 1 if y'all want a quick lesson, because this is. Yeah, I ain't proud of it, but I'm gonna tell y'all. But I want to make sure y'all listening, because I'm not gonna just tell y'all just for no reason. So give me some ones in the chat. I'm gonna tell you something, because this was a game changer for me, bro. Now people who've been watching my stuff, you know, I'm a finesse guy. But when I was younger, I used to be tussle gang, right? So if you can't figure out what that is, then you stupid, and you don't even need to deserve the story. So I was tussle gang. That's how I be. I'm the dominant one. I was tussle gang, right? And so what happened was, so I was about 19. So me and this girl used to have tussle gangs. And so I noticed that they had to keep increasing, right? So it's like my little shout, I had to keep increasing the shit that I was doing, because it wasn't, because she got complacent, like, oh, okay, all he gonna do is yell at me. All he gonna do is put me on, whatever. So I had to intensify that shit. And then I figured out, because this was a toxic relationship that I was in, that she liked it. And then that just changed my whole thing. Like, oh, wait a minute, bro. I'm trying to like establish my dominance and shit. And this bitch like this shit, but I'm really pissed off though. So now I decided, so you know what? I gotta stop doing that shit, because I'm not really winning here. Because yeah, I'm feeling like, yeah, I'm the man, I'm the boss of this situation, and I'm doing all of this. But then when I leave the woman, I'm still pissed. And I'm still like, man, well, she got me fucked up. So I'm like, okay, you know what? If I'm dealing with a chick and she pisses me off, I already lost. So I had to attachment shit after that.
Right.
Yeah, the person who angers you controls you.
Facts.
So you gotta remember if they anger you, they got you in a level of an emotion that you obviously can't control. So that's why you can't have people get in your head like that.
Yeah, because at first it started off light, and then it got to the point where it's like, okay, we in the mall now, bitch. You really got me fucked up now. Like, well, no, wait a minute. We can tussle game in the house. You want to try me now? And then so I had to like go and follow it through, just to let her know, like, oh no, you can get checked anywhere. This ain't just a private business. You can really
at your mama house.
Poppy was in Hilltop.
At your mama house.
All getting going.
Oh, good old ceremony mall in Daddy Silly too, man. You know what I mean?
I remember I had this chick. I'm not proud. I'm just telling you. And my partner, he was laughing at me and shit later on, right? RPC, you gonna laugh too. So she was talking her little shit, right? And I was driving in the car, and so I was driving in the car, and she was in the back because she had got picked up later. So my partner was in the side, and then my other partner was on the other one, and then she was in the back. So she was running her damn mouth and shit. So I pulled over. I told them cats, like, get out real quick. So she's sitting down, running her mouth. I grabbed her by her feet and pulled her ass all the way out. She fell on the fucking ground and shit. And he was like laughing, like, "Oh, you a fool?" And I'm like, "Nigga, I wasn't no fool. I was pissed. Like, that wasn't for show off, bro. Like, she had me fucked up." And, you know,
you would have been in the pen now.
yeah, it was a
put you in the
slide.
pen.
It was the old school, so it wasn't even no separation in the back. You know what I'm saying? So it was a full slide like this. And she slid all the way across the back of the seat and fell on the floor and shit. He thought that was a demonstration, but I was like, "No, bro, I was pissed, bro." We had some.
You was in the town?
Yeah, that was in town. Yeah, yeah, man. So like I said, man, we all got our stuff, and like I say, I pride myself on being transparent. So yeah, got them feet. Her at. Flew out like Superman by her feet and shit.
Yo, I gotta dip out. Gotta get ready for this flight. So,
about 10 more
minutes.
Feelings, there you see it.
Hey, good speak with you, brother.
I appreciate you guys. Love the chat. Love the communication.
All right, Glenn.
I'll call y'all later.
Good hearing from you.
All right,
sure. Make sure you follow Glenn
on
Instagram too, at Glenn Lawrence.
Yes, Glenn _Lawrence _presents. We got movies we're making.
There we go.
All right, guys, be easy.
Peace.
All right, man. Yep.
All right.
All right. So we got a few more minutes. Anybody got anything on their mind they want to say?
Yeah, I think the only thing I'll say is, and I mean, Avi, you've always preached this, and that's why I rock with you, bro. Like, you really have to get to a point where
y'all got quiet as fuck. I offend y'all. I'm just trying to be honest here.
You gotta have.
You said did you offend us?
Hey, y'all got quiet. I told that story. Shit.
Nigga, if I told you about some of my gorillas that I was around, bro, man, it was 10 times worse than that, dog.
Trust me.
Yeah, I'm numb to it, man.
But like one thing it's funny is like you'll think that if you're not getting women, you'll think that if there's a void in your life, you'll think that once you start getting women on a consistent basis, that's gonna fill a void. Nah, bruh. Like, dog, it could be even a more lonely road. I've had some times where I was getting women consistently, but I didn't feel fulfilled by my interactions with the women. And there wasn't problems with the sex part. It's like, okay, we have this physical thing, but is it my fault? Or why is it that I'm not fulfilled mentally and spiritually with these interactions with women I'm having? Why am I walking away with this, not totally fulfilled? Or it's like a quick Band-Aid, but then the rest of my life, I'm still trying to figure something out, or it's not there. You really got to graduate to a point in life where you could be outside the women and have a life outside of them that's so fulfilling. The women part is just minor. You know what I mean? Because once you get to that point in life, then everything else kind of falls into place. And I'm kind of finding that now, and I'm really starting to get it through this coding and this online remote like learning I'm doing. Like now I'm learning Forex and investing online. Like it saved my life in a way. You know what I'm saying? And I hope a lot of men can get to that point where it's like women are truly just a byproduct and something on the side of what you're really trying to do with yourself.
Shout out to Candace Williams. I told you about secret watching. You want to spank it next, Candace. Told you about that secret watching. Don't talk about no great show. You ain't said nothing this whole motherfucking time.
You know what I mean?
You young ladies. At the end
it's because we had her speechless. That's all.
Right, exactly.
You better say something, girl.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. Dudes who constantly complain about women sounds like they scorning a woman's man. Yeah, guys, we sound a little too scorn and shit. I pride myself on that. I didn't come to this space because, boy, you gotta catch the playback. I didn't come to this space because I was like heartbroken trying to figure things out. I literally was just liking to listen to pimp shit, and I used to like listening to Tariq Nasheed. And when he got super political, I heard Mr. Lucario's commercial, and then that brought me to to the YouTube shit. Like everybody, people be thinking that. Like you guys, everybody be thinking like everybody come on here because they heart broke and now they finding answers and like everybody that ain't everybody's experience, bro.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not here because of no fucking girl and shit that did me scandalous or went cold on me. So now I'm trying to
Exactly.
figure out answers and now this
Who
is
hurt
my
you?
yeah, that ain't my story, bro.
Right.
And I don't like people be assuming that shit.
Mm.
Go ahead, Justin. You was gonna say something?
I was just saying that popular line, "Who hurt you?"
Yeah. Yeah, like
that's some
tell Justin
bullshit.
that he ain't gotta send me no like screen shit.
Nah.
You can, if you
Nah,
wanna-
it's because dudes
Yeah.
were coming to me and being like messed up, crying, hurt, pissed off, and so like I took it upon myself to kind of come out and just make a business of like helping guys through this stuff. I mean, I'm not out here like trying to like spread a message or anything like that. It's really about helping dudes.
No, I mean you've been here this whole time. You didn't got quiet too. I didn't triggered your
Yes,
ass.
you did.
House. You didn't been over here getting orgasm and everything, all this masculine energy. You've been soaking it up. You've been soaking it up, ain't you? 1950. Now Justin said this stuff, and I know Trav's story. 1950. How did you come to this space?
Man, I used to hear hella like YouTube people, man. I ain't gonna name the names because they busters, but I used to hear them like they used to always talk about how women are not they're not traditional, like they're no longer submissive. Like I've never had this problem with women in my life. So for me, one of the biggest things I said I wanted to bring to the table was tradition and being traditional and leading with a leading God first, you know what I mean? So I was coming for more of that aspect, but I was also a game spitter. So for me, macking to bitches at the time, man, was never a problem. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna package that up and I'm coming to the YouTube platform. I used to do a podcast that I still actually do for a while. And I used to just talk mad mess, and I used to get like 10,000 downloads an episode, bro, like literally. Nice. And so eventually I was like, you know what? I'm wasting my time on audio only, man. I need to bring the silver back to the YouTube, and I'm coming, you know what I mean? And I'm gonna go hard, and I've dedicated myself to it, and I'm happy I'm here, man. But yeah, and then a lightweight kind of with Steve the Dean. So Steve the Dean, he knew somebody. It's crazy how everything works out, but whatever, man. I connected with this cat. Once I connected with this cat, man, and I connected with everybody else, pretty much Lucario and EO and them cats, man, Miles, but like, Alfie, you too, man. Like I didn't even know you was in the town. I was like, oh, man, I'm from Frisco, man, born and raised, man. You know what I mean? That's my stomping ground, man. So, met you that way too, man. And I used to see you rock out. I was like, man, I'm coming to town, man. You know what I mean? I'm coming to town. So
let's hear yours in case I know it, but people may not know it. AV, and shout out, good night, Naima. It was good to see you. You make sure you ain't got the bell hit, Naima. That's your problem. You need to have that bell hit because her sharing it. That's why you came. You gotta hit that notification bell. That subscription shit is whack now. That shit is like 2018.
Word.
You subscribe to people, you're not getting fed shit. You have to hit the bell, bro. That's just the rule. But go ahead, AV.
Yeah. So the way I came in, the way I discovered the space and shit, I don't know. It was the algorithm. I didn't really know how it came about. But the first person I heard spit was Steve the Dean. And I was like, yo, I like this guy because he sounded like a dad I never had, right? Type shit. And I was resonating with him. I was like, I bet. And this was a while ago. And this is when they were talking, Steve the Dean had Donovan Sharp on there. And I heard Donovan Sharp, and Donovan, right? This was a while ago. Donovan Sharp had Donovan Sharp doesn't he sounds like a white guy. So I was like, all right, cool. So when I went to look for Donovan Sharp and I saw that he was a black dude, I was like, oh shit, okay. So that opened up a whole fucking rabbit hole for me. And for me, again, when I came to the space, I didn't realize so many men had so many problems with women. So I said, how can I participate and capitalize on this. So what I did was I started designing t-shirts, you know what I'm saying, that had red pill, quote unquote, sayings and
Glenn said he
ideology
wanted one
behind it.
too. Glenn said he
What's
wanted
that?
one. Glenn said he wanted one too in the back chat. He said that
Oh,
before.
no doubt. Yeah, that's nothing. That's light
Yeah,
work.
I just bought one tonight.
Yeah, I thank you, man. I appreciate you, my G. Yeah, he purchased them on the space that she needed. Anyway, so what I did was I started making these t-shirts, right? And then I started reaching out to content creators, and one of them was Afi, and I reached out to them. And again, the way my strategy was, I didn't put myself on Front Street. I didn't let nobody hear me talk or see me. I just started sending content creators my t-shirts. Some of them started rocking it, and then the reason why I came out to the forefront because Afi had a episode with another fellow content creator called Swole Alpha, Relentless Attitude, and it was a mystery about me and shit. They were like, "Yo, we think he's Mexican," so I said, "Nah, fuck that." So I'm coming on, and then boom. So and here we are.
I would send you a sombrero.
Yeah, they thought I was Mexican and shit. That's the clip. And then Afi, and then
said I'm Mexican.
Word, and then Afi, yeah.
I don't know. I just heard like Alpha Villains. Like,
yeah. Lucha, yeah, like a wrestler.
Like he has some Cortezes on and shit.
Yeah. So and then Afi, we started talking, and then one day Afi invited me to a panel, and it was like a secret jump because he was like, "Yo, we're gonna cook you right now," and he had a whole bunch of people on there telling me why I should start my channel. This was a while ago, and then the rest is history, man. So that's how I came to the space, and I really I always said this shit. We really are a breath of fresh air because shout out to the OGs, but now there's time for this. Is an opportunity for us to have some new place in the space, man, and really just talk about not a one size fit all. Masculinity is one way, but there's a way that you can have a relationship. You can travel, not have kids. You can do all these things as long as the man knows who he is. Whatever works for you is gonna work for you, man. That's what I'm doing here.
Yeah, for me, like y'all got the Kakaria part, but the other part is that's when I start like getting on the dating shit. But like, it was AMS is the one who inspired me to make content, to make the content for myself. But as far as watching it, I remember Minister Jap, bro. Shout out to Minister Jap, nigga. I used to watch them church check-ins. I discovered that shit, and I was like, "What is this? This guy coming in with the background church check-in, and then the church music used to play, and he used to be like, these women, like I was like, man, what is this? Man, I used to spam the hell out of those. I probably watched all of his videos in probably like 3 weeks and got up to date. I used to love them church. I talked to Jappa today. I'm gonna ask him about that. Matter of fact, you need to bring them church back, them drops back every now and then, man, because I used to love those. Them little 10 minutes, you could watch like 3-4 of them at a time. So that's
you said he had like sermons about women.
Oh, you never seen it? Yeah. So Minister Jack,
he still kind of does every now and then.
Yeah.
No,
I said that because I think it's funny. I was looking at my own my own numbers, and I'm like, dang, like the stuff where I'm dropping some like deep wisdom doesn't get as much, bro. But then I start talking about like my video about submission, like can women submit, and it was like through the roof.
Yeah,
and
bro.
It's like,
yep.
And it's funny
surface
because
level.
Yeah, but it's funny because once you get the deep shit, you don't have to worry about submission. It just happens.
Right.
We talk about that all the time, bro.
It's so funny.
Well, yeah, man, the surface level game, they only want the surface level game. Like if you had a video on 5 ways to smash a girl in the same night, man, I'm telling you, you're going through the roof. Viral. It's hard for me. It's hard for me to even though in my mind you know them, right? But it's like I'm not helping you out, giving you short-term success in your eyes. What success looks like, right? Yeah, right. That's because if her bottom half is your success, that's a problem. Right. But to some men, that's validation for them, right? But if I help you in this way, then I'm creating more of a problem that I'm trying to help. So that's why my videos are normally going around the things that you actually want. If you know, guys know what I mean. You know what
Absolutely.
I mean? Yeah, they don't realize how tasty the brain is.
Yeah.
You know, like the brain of women.
Once the Fresh and Fish shit went down, because that just made me be like, man, these cats will fucking act like they don't know you just when you just do one fucking thing. They don't know your ass no more. I'm like, God damn, bro.
Who was this?
When Fresh and Fit, when they had the shit and they lost like 60,000 subs on a week, it's like, damn, bro, these people are fucking fickle as fuck. Like, that's a lot, bro.
Well,
like,
we deal with it. You got to remember, we deal with a lot of emotional men.
50,000,
And-
50.
Those are emotional men. Those are men who believed and lived in the shoes of Fresh and Fit. So when they found out that in their eyes, they was busters. So they was like, oh, I can't be associated. So let me make this emotional decision and unfollow.
Yeah.
Even people I don't like, I can learn something from.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I don't want to follow you. I may not mess with you a lot, but I see my timeline, and my timeline is really like a lot of electronic stuff, like a lot of product, and it's crazy. I see y'all because I got the notifications. I got notifications on y'all, but like other than that, bro, like I don't really see a lot of stuff, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's they YouTube's learned me.
Yeah.
He want iPad stuff. Oh, he want new electronic that's my lane. So I'm like, oh yeah, man, give me that.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny because we're talking about they don't want the deeper stuff, because if you really go at the deeper stuff, it's going to force you to look inside yourself and admit you're a part of the problem and that you need to develop yourself. And the thing is I said at the beginning, guys, people want to have victim mindset. This is why I don't like victim mindset, because when you play a victim, you say, there's nothing I can do to change the problem. It's them. It's me. It's my fault first. The reason why I like to have that mentality is because if it's my fault, I can change it. When it's somebody else doing something external to me, I can't necessarily change what other people do, but I can change what I do. So that's why I don't like that victim mindset, because it's making you feel like you can't do anything. Nah, fuck that, goddammit. I'm the one that can do it. I feel like I can do anything, whether I can or not. I want that mindset, you know?
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. They don't realize that, like, you know, once you get into it, like it's like guys, like, you know, they get questions. I get questions like, you know, oh, how do I say this to a woman, and you know, how do I introduce myself and all this stuff? And like, I get it. Like, you know, if you're just kind of starting out, like talking to, it's going to be mystifying, you know what I mean? And then they get some success with that, and they're like starting to get some box, and like, oh yeah, like I figured it out, right? But once you start like understanding that it's all mental games, like what Lotus was talking about, right? It's all mental, right? And once you get in there, it's almost even hard to put into words the levels of you know, dealing with women on a psychological level. Like it's once you're there, there is no effort anymore, because like you and the game are like one thing almost. And you know, I can't like show anything now, but like Afi, I sent you some screenshots of some of the stuff that I'm talking about, like where just like complete psychological like submission to what you're talking about. And it's like guys think that like, oh, just because she's coming to your place or just because she's in your bed, that means like she's submitted to you. And it's like, bro, that's not even close. Like all right, real quick, like have y'all seen Conan the Barbarian?
Of course.
Right. Okay. So remember at the end when he tries to infiltrate the cult, and he's wearing the white robes, and they catch him, right? And they beat the crap out of him, and they like throw him on the ground in front of James Earl Jones. And he's like, you killed my mother, you killed my father, you killed my family, you know, like you killed everybody. And he's like, and then James is standing there, you know, he's in his awesome like outfit, and he's got all his people around him and shit. And he goes, boy, you think power is in steel? He's like, power is not in steel. That's not real power. He's like, power is in flesh. And he's like, it's all around you. This is power. And he says, he points up, and remember, he points up at that like girl, you know, she was like naked from like the waist up. She had like little loincloth on. And he's like, you girl, come to me. And she just straight up walks off the cliff to her death. And he looks at Conan and he goes, "That's power, boy." And I was like, dang. Like, so it's like all these guys, I think like just getting the box, that's power. It's no, the flesh, that's the mind. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's where if you have like influence up there with a woman, it's like once you get to that level, you're just like, holy shit, this is the filet mignon.
Right.
Hey, here's next
level. It's Conan theme, bro. You can't get me twisted. That's one of my favorite movies, bro.
Oh, I love that movie.
Yeah, you can't see because I got our heads, but this is the Conan shit right here. This is the Conan.
Yeah. Like when he's in the fight pit and he's got the spikes on his arms and he's just like fucking motherfuckers.
I didn't like Conan the Destroyer because you could tell that the first one made some money, then they tried to go Hollywood with it, and it was
they kind of fucked it up.
The first one was an epic. The first one was an epic, almost biopic. If they could have easily said that was a real story, but the second one was an action movie.
Yeah,
just like Rocky 1, 2, serious drama. Then 3 came. Okay, we making action movies now. Fuck that story.
Right.
Then 4, super action packed movie.
Right.
Yeah. Well, that's when they started making action figures after it. You know.
Hey, on the low, what guys don't realize too is you could get the box, but you still submitted to that woman though.
Yep.
To get the box, right?
Right. Now, a lot of guys do that, and they don't realize that. They think because it's box, box equals I won. No, you could still lose, bro. Like that's what a lot of guys don't.
No.
Hey, we had 3 hours, man. Let's check out and say our last
when she's sending you text like, "What can I do for you today to make you happy?"
Right.
That's more powerful than the box. That's pulling her off the cliff with your finger.
Right.
And that's the thing too, Justin, is me, and this isn't like a 2-month horn or nothing, but I've had problems with women and shit. Most of my problems though,
everybody has.
Most of my problems was never with getting the chicks. It was me trying to have committed relationships. I always had problems in committed relationships. Always, whether it's cheating or the time management, how much attention, whatever. Like dealing with women, cool. Dealing with relationships, that'd be my kryptonite. I'd be like, what the fuck, bro? Like, because in my mind, I'd be thinking, dude, I got chicks who want to be my girlfriend. Now I made you my girlfriend, but you not like appreciate the way I feel. But I had to learn that though too. But in my mind, I'm thinking you ain't really respecting this pimping the way you're supposed to. It's women that want to take your spot. But then I had to realize, well, I'm just a regular cat to her now. She's not, you know what I'm saying? I'm not the person. I am a person. You know, once the novelty does wear off, once you get in a committed relationship, and you know, you can bring it back up, but I'm saying it's not the same thing as like dating a woman in your rotation. There's different type of issues and shit, you know.
Well, it's keeping that little element of fear of loss in there. It's like that, you know, it's like you get a job, you know what I mean? Like, you know that you got this job, you could get fired. Like at a moment's notice for whatever reason. And it's like it keeps you in line. Like you want to keep your job so you don't fuck around.
Dude, my first committed relationship I tried, I was like, just pissed because I was like, man, like I don't. It took me a minute to understand it. Like I don't get no pushback from my host, but I get pushback from you, and I treat you better. And I had to like really sit back and be like,
that's crazy.
What is this shit? Like I like you, my girlfriend. I tell you I love you and shit. I fuck you raw. You know what I'm saying? I take you out to eat. These bitches, I ain't doing shit. But then I want you to act like them. So I have to learn that experience. Like, yeah, I don't do nothing for these hoes. They miss me all the time. They want me. They want to fuck me. They love me where I'm at. And you get me every fucking night and shit. You talking about some shit I'm on the phone and talking about just some dumb shit. You know what I mean? So those were my issues, bro. The relationships, those are my downfalls in life.
Relationship equals mission accomplished.
Zero, bro. 0 in PE and shit. The flag.
What's that, Trav?
I'm saying a lot of times, because see, when they get the titles, it's the comfort. So it's like relationship equals mission accomplished. Like, I got this dude. And then again, familiarity brings contempt. Now that you're in a relationship, you're going to be more familiar, spending more time. Like you said, that novelty wears off. You know what I'm saying? Now that's saying you don't know what you got till it's gone. It's hella funny because then it's like, bro, then you stop messing with a chick. You ain't with her no more. You move on. Now she can go back to how she was when you first met. It's like, goddamn, why don't you stay like that the whole time?
Right.
That's why once every 2 weeks you should just tell her to sleep on the couch.
Mm.
Yeah,
I'm just fucking around.
no, but no, it's good you said that though. You know why? Here's why I say it. It could be a joke, but
I was like, hey man, I'm gonna have to implement that, man.
And she'll be
No,
like,
but-
"What
In
the
the
hell?"
program.
You know,
But Oppie
make
was
her
the first-
think she did something wrong. You know,
Yes. Oppie was the first person I heard say this, and I like kind of would think this, but not realize it. And then he told me this one day. He's like, "Trav, you got to do this," and I was like, "Bro, you're so right." That and then it's like, you know, when someone tells you some game, you can go through your whole like Rolodex and remember every chick and remember I did that with this one, it worked right. I didn't do that with this one, it didn't work. Like he was like, "Trav, you got to think, bro. You got to keep these chicks reactive, bro. Like you can't just react off what they're doing. You got to make them react off you." And I was like, "Dog, you're hella right. Like you got to be inconsistent sometimes. You got to switch it up. You got to make them question if they're doing everything right. Because once there's no questioning, there's too much comfort. That's when the problems come in."
Yeah, but when I was having a girlfriend and shit, like since because I would look at it like, shit, you made me cut my hose, so now you got to eat all of it. Fuck that. So like I'm hungry. I'm hungry and shit. So I'm sitting here hungry, and I be here. And the thing is, I be burning up inside. I don't even tell them. I be mad and shit. Like, hey, you ain't gonna make me nothing to eat? Oh yeah, sure. And I be thinking, no, you supposed to just do it. What the fuck? You my girlfriend. You my everything, right? Like you don't want me to fuck with these hoes. These hoes ain't asked me, am I hungry? But now I gotta tell you I am, and you the main one. I'm confused.
Yo, that's because you know why, my G? That's because it's the same thing. They don't understand the value on what the title you giving them. See, niggas gotta put value in the title that they gonna give the hoe or the bitch. You know what I'm saying? So that's the problem. So now the fact that she don't know that she's supposed to be doing that without you asking her because she's your girlfriend now, she doesn't know that there's a value to that. So this is what I'm saying. This is why broads gotta earn shit, man. They gotta earn shit. Like when Justin said, you gotta make her sleep on the couch once in a while. Shit, metaphorically, that's true. You gotta let her know, yo, listen, yeah, you fixing my plate, but you a little off with the seasening. You know what I mean, or some shit like that. So you still gotta, at the end of the day.
Hey, what you say on that video? What you say? Something about some I forgot. You said something about the fettuccine. Like, yeah, that fettuccine was fire. Like on the sauce.
Something with the seasoning. Yeah, the chicken was fire. Yo, we was having sex with her and shit. You banging around. Yeah, the chicken was good. Some shit like that. I forgot. But yeah, at the end of the day, man, it's everything. The man, bro. The man has down to the nitty gritty, bro. The titles you give the woman, her placement, where she's gonna be in your life, the role she's gonna have. You have to dictate that so she can understand how important it is to you. Because if I tell you how to do something, that means this is important to me. And if you're not doing it, you don't care if it's important to me. So that's the shit, man.
So
respect y'all. Hey man, I gotta get up out of here though, really quick, man. Hey, much respect to my brothers, man. Hey,
Peace.
Last thing, man, Mr. 1950, man, the last traditional man on the planet, man. Y'all subscribe to me, man. Change your life. Book a session, Mr.1950.com. Hey, to my peoples on the panel, man, nothing but respect, man. Learn from y'all every time I fuck with y'all, man. Respect.
Salute.
I'm gonna get up out of here.
Happy New Year again, man. Happy New Year. Yeah, I just wanted to say real quick to what Trav was talking about, like with the complacency. What did you say? Like, what did you say? Familiarity breeds, I don't know.
Familiarity breeds contempt. Old saying.
We were talking about you earlier.
See what you don't understand, like what most guys don't understand is that you actually put more pressure on when you get into a relationship, right? Think about it. Like you could care less. Like the woman, like if you get just this girl that you're sleeping with, you see like maybe once a week. You know what I'm saying? You could care less what she does with her life. She goes there, does this, wears that, does that, speaks like that, whatever. Doesn't care, except in a small space and time when she's with you for a couple hours once a week. And then you're like, okay, but you start consistently seeing that person. Now you got to step your game up. You got to shift into a different gear. You can't just be coasting in there in first gear doing 30 miles an hour. You got to pop it into second and third. And now that puts more pressure on the situation because now you got to be more like aware of how you want things to go. And constantly check things if they need to be checked and reward things when they need to be rewarded. Like you're at the level at which you have to pay attention increases.
Sure.
Your level of management increases. Like having an
More
intern,
overhead.
right? It's like having an intern versus hiring an employee.
Right.
You know, the intern, they come in late, whatever. You know, this is just an intern. You know what I mean? Like they come in with dirty shoes, whatever. You know, but you hire them, you're like, hey, you're gonna be here on time. Hey, you're gonna have polished shoes when you get here. You know, and it's like, and then they get promoted. You're on them even more because now you have higher expectations.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? So, but then you have to manage to that level.
Yeah,
you
bro.
know what I'm saying? Like, so, and like guys, they get it all backwards. They work hard in the beginning and then they kick their feet up once they fucking get married. And it's like, bro, you have it completely backwards.
And I've done that. I'm victim to that too. Just being
I think we all have. Yeah.
Dude, I remember I had a girlfriend and like, you know, and I remember she started pulling back on me, and I remember the first sign of it, right? And I remember it's like I almost malfunctioned in the kitchen, right? Like I'm just sitting here like a fucking computer somebody threw water on, like like I remember coming home and shit, and I'm kind of like, oh, you know, what's up? Like, and then she's like, oh yeah, you can and like you said earlier, it's the small things. And for some of you cats, y'all might not think it's a small thing. I mean, y'all might not think it's a thing, but I instantly knew it. And I'm like, oh shit. And then she was like, oh yeah, you can fix your plate. Fix my plate? Wait a minute. That's not my job. That's not. No, I don't fix my own plate. I don't understand what you mean. Like, but it wasn't even no mad or no. It was like literally like a malfunction. Like I didn't understand.
Taken aback, right?
But then that's my growing up too, because like my mom, you know, like my father passed, and so my mother used to serve me. So it's not even just like, oh, I'm alpha. It's just that's what I know. Like a woman,
that's what you were used to,
right, accustomed to.
So the woman, she just think, oh, I'm just tired right now. I don't feel like fixing it, but she thinking, oh, you can still eat though, the food ready. But I'm thinking like, no, I damn near don't even want to eat. It don't seem right. It don't seem right going in the kitchen making some shit when you here.
Right.
Now, if you gone or sleep, all right, I'll microwave some shit. But wait a minute, you just gonna sit on the couch?
That's different.
You gonna just sit on the couch and watch TV while I make my own plate?
Right.
No, bro.
Right. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. If you just grew up that way, right?
Yeah.
Check it out. If you just grew up that way, like let's say, you know, like say dad died early when you were younger, or like, you know, dad wasn't there, and you're just this kid, and you grow up with this imprint of mom just coming and like, you know, do as she did. You know what I'm saying? Like both hard and soft, pleasant and the unpleasant. Like you just learn like that's what you know a woman does, and that imprints on the young man of like, this is what to expect from a woman, right? That will lead then to guys going out and saying, in other words, you should be like my mom.
Mm-hmm.
So they're out here searching for the mother archetype that was imprinted on them early in their childhood, right? So if their mom was like a hard ass bitch, they're probably going to be surrounded by women who are hard ass bitches. You know, if their mother was like real caring and nurturing and stuff, they're probably going to be looking for a nurturing woman, right? To, you know, kind of take in that place, because that was the first imprint, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it most definitely was. Y'all got all the game. We got all the game every night, Candy. You got to go back and watch the playback, baby. That's what I'm telling you to do. That's what you got to do. Let me talk sexy and then tell you that you got to watch the playback on YouTube, beautifully animated. Got to catch the playback.
Now,
go ahead, Trav.
Here's one thing too. When and I agree too. Like we talked about, like okay, like checking bad behavior, but that, I mean, you know, that should just be here and there. It shouldn't be like all the time. Like honestly, when you're with a woman, you should be charming, and it should be a great time, because it should be a great time.
Oh yeah, if she's too much.
Yeah, and when I'm with people, like the way I'm charming with a woman, it might be platonic, but I'm charming with men too. I just like having a good time with people. I kind of know if I say this, people are gonna laugh, or if I do this, it's gonna make someone feel good. That's just the type of person I am. You know what I'm saying? But that's also too why I'm so quick to check bad behavior, because I'm like, I provide a good ass time. I don't know what you tripping over here for. But I remember that story I was telling you. I told somebody about that, and they were like, oh, well, that's the way she grew up. Just, don't be so hard on her. I'm like, bruh, that's some of the most simp stuff I heard, dude. Like, nah, people can just do bad behavior because that's how they grew up. Like, nah, like that doesn't mean anything, bruh. Like, that means they had bad programming and they need to change it. So you're doing them a favor. Like, I want somebody to help me out if I'm doing something wrong. But then I'm like, look at the source. Like, that's why this person is having problems and they're getting disrespected by other women because they have an attitude like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Yeah. Like, I wouldn't. I don't know. Like, I forgot who said it tonight, but they said, like, basically, like, all women can submit, or they all have it in them. Like, that's, you hear people talk about like female nature and they're like, oh, they're hypergamous and they're always going after this and that, and and they're sneaky and manipulative. Well, the other side of female nature is being really submissive, right? Yeah. Nurturing, loving, kind, right? It's like all that good shit gets overlooked, because guys don't know how to access that. The thing is that sometimes, depending on where she's at, it's too hard. Like Alan Watts says, the gain isn't worth the candle, or the the juice isn't worth the squeeze. Like, you're gonna squeeze on that orange a little bit and just get out a few drops. You know what I mean? And then some oranges, you just caress them with your hand and they gush. You know what I mean? So it's like you got to find they're all gonna need some kind of effort to a certain degree, but it's like depending on like how you interact. You can't just like sit there and like stand there like a statue and she's gonna fall to and submit to you. But like, so you're gonna have to interact, but the amount and the level of intensity will vary. And so I mean, honestly, I don't mess with women. Like, sometimes I'll get it in me, like I want that challenge, you know what I mean? And I want to have a fight on my hands, where I can wrestle the bull to the ground, but
muscle gang,
not all the time, you know what I mean? Like, because it's exhausting. Like a woman who will not like submit, I'm like, I must make this happen,
Yeah,
but
when I was younger,
not all, but you can't do that all the time. It's like it's exhausting. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, when I was younger, I was more attracted to that challenge, that one, the bitch that I wanted to tussle with. You know what I mean? But now it's like, nah, bro, because I don't have. It's so much. It takes too much energy to do what we're doing, to be a man, for that matter, to be a man that's in this space, to want something bigger and greater than a relationship, because that a relationship is not manageable per se. You got to choose, man. So for me, it's all about alliances, complimenting me, just being on the same, wavelength. I cannot be tussling with a broad. I can't be mentally, she'll test me once in a while. I gotta check her ass, but for it to go too much, man, I don't have the energy anymore. I'm sorry.
See, I like a little bit of brat though. I have to admit, I like a little bit of brattiness.
Spank her ass
like a little kid. You know what I mean? Like just a touch of being a brat, because
Splash.
I know exactly. Like, I know that personality likes to be punished. So she knows, like, we'll develop a dynamic where she knows that if she misbehaves a little bit, it's going to annoy the fuck out of me, and I'm going to punish her in a way that she enjoys. Or if I really don't like it, I'm going to punish her in a way that she doesn't enjoy. You know what I'm saying? I'll cut something off that she really likes. You know what I mean? Like, but
cut off, gang. Yeah.
In the beautiful animator's comment, I read it. That was your environment too, because where I learned the tussle game from. So let me see. My brother is he's 15 years old. So he was like,
not all women are gold diggers. That's true. Not all women are gold diggers.
Not.
My brother was in his 20s and I was like 10. So he used to do tussle game. And guess what the difference between me and my 25-year-old brother was? He was getting pussy and I wasn't. So then when I got to the chance to where I'm getting pussy now, I figured like that was just a part of it. Like, okay, every now and then you gotta do tussle game, because I used to see my older brother do it with his, because he was a serial relationship guy. So he wasn't like a player, but he would just like, all his women would overlap and they would be super intense relationships, each of them. And then that's what I used to see him do. So when I got about 15, 16, I'm like, okay, now it's time to be like my brother, fucking tussle game. That's the combo, I thought. So that's
Mhm.
how I heard it from. You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
Hey,
But
there's
TV though, I just watched it like, oh, he getting the results I want. He got a girlfriend and he getting pussy. I got no girlfriend and no pussy, so let me mirror him. And
Let me
that's
try to
that's
incorporate. Right.
Yeah.
uh,
There's another thing I wanted to say about hypergamy too, because we use that a lot, and I'm not, and it's right, and
I don't.
it's there, but we have to look at hypergamy deeper. Now, yes, there are guys where they provide a lifestyle and do all that. The reason why that hypergamy exists is not just because of those things; it's because of what the feelings that lifestyle and those things and all that hypergamy provides. So when we talk about this woman was with a millionaire, but then the pool man came. That was a hypergamous move. Now you might be like, well, what's the hypergamy? Better feeling from the pool man than from the rich guy. That was an
she just
hypergamous
wants to
move.
be heard, Trav.
You
She
know what
just
I'm
wants to be
saying?
heard.
So it's like
Yeah, that's what I was
it's
tapping in with.
it's
So what they want.
it's feeling. So it's like, like and like again, like I've said this, I used to work at ESPN and I was around a lot of people. And I remember I was talking to somebody and she used to date like a famous athlete, and she was telling me, then she started dating like a regular dude after that. And we were talking, I was like, she's like, yeah, I had to realize like by dating like an athlete, like it's not all that's cracked up to be. Like, yeah, like okay, they're on TV and you get a little starstruck, they got money, but then as you get around them, you realize like, okay, they're like regular people too. Like, okay, they're great at this sport, but they might be lacking in this department that this regular person got better. You know what I'm saying? That was a hypergamous move for her to stop messing with this known athlete and go to a regular man, because that regular man gave more of an overall feeling on the day to day if she liked more than that athlete. You know what I'm saying?
That's kind of like
Yes.
what you say, AV, about a simp taking your girl. People don't understand why. That's why, because you wasn't, because that simp is fulfilling the needs that she want at the time. Like I say, I would lose a lot of good women because I just wasn't with the commitment shit. I tried it. I didn't like it. I didn't like a woman thinking that she can kind of tell me what to do or have an input on what I'm doing. Like I wasn't used to it. Like I'm used to just doing whatever I want. So now I'll say I'm finna go out. I'll be back tomorrow. She got an attitude, and it's like, what the fuck?
Right.
What the fuck?
Yeah, man.
I'm about to fuck when I get back, so I'm confused.
You got to make a choice. Yeah, you got to make
You know I
choices,
was
guys.
gonna get fucked, right? And then so
Well, see, me, I don't mess with like I mean, I'm aware of the concepts and stuff, but I don't mess around with like any of the like hypergamy stuff, red pill isms, like nomenclature here and there, all that
It's too
stuff.
technical.
Yeah, it gets really technical. And here's the thing: like, you guys know about the Bader-Meinhof phenomenon? No, like, so the Bader-Meinhof phenomenon is this thing. Like, basically, like, let's say you wanted to buy like the new, Ford F-150 in gunmetal gray. Okay, and you like got the pamphlet. Like, you went to the dealership, you got the pamphlet, you talked to the guy, you're reading about it, you're doing YouTube research on it. You just love this fucking truck. You want it, and you're like, I'm getting the gunmetal gray Ford F-150 in the next 3 months. Now you start seeing them everywhere.
Yes.
Right? Okay. That's the shit that happens with all these, like super red pill aware people. I mean, come on. Like, I've read a couple of the books, I've seen some interviews. I get it. You know what I mean? But it's like these guys are on it like all the time. Like it's like hypergamy and like red pill words and stuff. It's like, it's part of the regular everyday conversation all the time. And therefore, because of Bader-Meinhof phenomenon, that's all they're going to see.
Right.
All they're going to see. They look around. Like, when I see women, I just see a woman. That's it. It begins and ends with a woman. Right? But with them, they're seeing, oh, she's a hypergamous woman. What is she after? And then they fill in all this stuff about her from a distance without even saying hello. And then they're like, well, she's probably a gold digger anyways, who's going to, divorce me and take me for all my money. I'm not even going to say hello. And they're like, bro, it's like, what? Why are you so afraid of something that's not even existing? It's crazy. So it's like, watch out what you consume.
Existence, right?
Yeah, it's like what you consume can really, really mess with how you perceive reality. It's like,
absolutely.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
facts.
guys, you know what I don't like too, because now you trigger my ass now. I hate when fucking guys be trying to show the girls the red pill content for confirmation, bro. That's like a part. You're not going. That's like a part of it, jackass. You're not gonna get confirmation because it's reverse
Yeah.
in logic. They want to
Yeah,
watch.
it's like they're trying to like bring them to the fire and be like, I know this is you. I need you to prove it. Just say it's true.
Dude,
Yeah, bro.
And it's like,
dude,
bro,
Yeah,
do
she
you really
happened to
think
be
that that's
cool,
gonna
but they
make you
literally
suck
like
your
be
dick?
putting them onto it and shit. Like, no,
dude,
man,
how you know how you don't do it like that? How you know is you watch your results and you look at their actions, because they'll say, "Oh, that's not true. Oh, that don't work," or this and that. But then you run your game right and you see that their actions coincide with what you know. So they're gonna deny it with their words, but you got to watch with your eyes, not your ears. You got to see, like, women will say they don't do this and I would never do that. Then the right guy comes along, they do all that stuff while saying they don't do that. That's what they do.
Shout out to Angry Man. Angry Hand,
Peace,
big
peace.
timer is in the house for the super chat. Angry Man, bro. You family, bro. I love you. You can't be secret watching no more, bro. Come in here and say what's up. This is the family over here, bro. We with the shit. I'm gonna rant you up and everything, because that was one of my first people I seen. Angry Man and Minister Jap. So
Salute.
yeah, don't secret watch, man. Let yourself be known, bro. I like that's energy for me, bro. When cats who inspire me and they watching my shit, bro, don't be quiet no more. Say what's up the next time. But he said you got to be better than the broad in every way, not just financially. Every chick wants a winner, a dude that's better than her. Man got to learn to be man again. That's facts, bro. Yeah, man. You got to, give him some fire sign. Yeah. I know you was cloud watching, baby. No more of it.
Yeah.
We family, bro.
You see, I would just say
run.
I would just say to that, run the game that gets you the things that you want in life. Because
Right.
I know
Facts.
some dudes
Simple as that.
who have their woman making the money for them.
Yes,
They
sir.
take, like, the woman, like, it makes more money and he controls the money. She
Yes.
takes her whole paycheck and puts it into the bank account. She gets nothing. And he gives her a card with an allowance on it. And it's like he's controlling the whole shit. He makes far less. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know about 3 guys who do this. All right.
Yes, bro. Yes.
And
Facts.
it's like, it's not the most common thing in the world, but I'm saying this,
It exists.
It came from the dudes saying, this is how I want to run. Like, I want to be married to, this litigation lawyer. And this is how the relationship's going to go.
Right. Crazy.
Simply because he had the mindset that I am superior.
Yes.
James Brown with the fire. Man, we've been at it 3.5 hours. There you go. You taken care of, bro. We can't be sick. We gotta support each other in real time. You welcome to my platform anytime. We got to do a one-on-one too. Let's say our last words, fellas. Or y'all still got gas? I mean, shit, I ain't gotta go.
No, I'm gonna bow out of here.
I'm tired. Yeah, I'm done. 2:30. I'm out of here. Yo, let me say my last words, my G.
West Coasters.
Yeah, West Coast.
West Coast.
Yeah. Me and AV were.
Yeah. You already know it's past my bedtime. But yeah, man, this is shout out to Afi. Shout out to everybody. 50 AM1, Glenn Lawrence, Trav. Coach Justin, man, I appreciate everybody for being here, man. Thank you so much for allowing me to come on the platform, my nigga. Yo, this was awesome. Guys, do me a favor. Make sure you guys follow me on Instagram at Alpha Villains. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. I got a morning show, Finish Your Breakfast with AV, Monday through Friday, 8:15 a.m. I appreciate you, bro. This was a great topic and very well said. Make sure you guys leave a comment as well. I want to hear from you. Peace.
Yeah. Trav.
Hey, so yeah, and I mean, whether men or women are both the problem or whatever, I think men should just focus on them being the problem, and that way that you don't have a victim mindset and you can change it. Thanks for letting me on the panel, Afi. Thanks for everybody on the panel for coming on. Follow me at Trav Terrell on IG.
Good. Coach Justin.
Yeah, what's up? I'm Coach Justin. I run a dating program called the Alpha Evolution. I can be found at the Alpha Evolution on Instagram. And I've got a YouTube channel, but all my stuff can just be followed via the link in my IG bio. It'll take you to everything: the program, the training, the YouTube, the podcast, the whole bit. But yeah, you know, I'm in agreement with the, you know, with what we just said. Just it's all about the dude. You know, quit worrying about this, that, comparing things. Just do what you need to do to make your own life right.
That's it.
Cool. As for me, hold on. What was this with Iceberg? This question sparked a lot of questions. I say, I want y'all be in the cuts, bro. Why y'all be doing me like that? People watching me and shit. Y'all content creators, bro. Y'all be, come on, Saga. I watched your shit earlier, bro. You know I watched your vlog, bro. You gonna wait until 3.5 hours plus 5 minutes to say what's up this whole time, bro? Why you disrespect me like that? You know you're supposed to come tap in with your brother, man. I watched your vlog. You was fucking with the hoes. I seen you cold approaching, all of this stuff, bro. But I support you too, bro. So make sure you follow me on Instagram at International Afi Kingdom. If you need a consultation, Third War. See what the hell? What is y'all vampires? Y'all coming out on the late night and shit? What? 3 hours went by. Now everybody want to come checking in and shit. We've been on this one for like 4 hours. What's up, Third War? Shout out to everybody who slid through TOPAZ.
Oh, word, yes.
1950. Fuck.
CHERRELL.
CHERRELL.
Cheryl.
I don't know. It was like 10 of us, whatever. So I would suggest too, though. This is what I want you cats to do. I want high engagement. I want all you motherfuckers to leave a 100 in the chat. Or if you triggered by something, say whatever the fuck you want to say. But if I'm giving y'all 3.5, I ain't did a 3.5 hours in a long time. I'd be 1 hour and a half.
And that wasn't even in the intent. It wasn't even the intent.
Right. So y'all gotta do your part by liking the video and the shit, because I'm mad. I was mad at y'all, bro. When I did that video in the car in the hour, I got like 70 comments. So y'all can do it, right? Then I did the panel 2 days ago. I got 4 comments, bro. Y'all gonna do me like that?
Five. I left the comment in there.
Y'all gonna have me go for 2 hours and give me 5 comments? No, y'all listening to this shit. Drop some fucking 100s. Drop some fire signs. I told you I got the green and brown for you cats on. This designer shit. I got all this waves and shit. That's for the comments, bro. You gotta.
He put the wave in.
Yeah, you gotta. Let me see. You gotta do it. Yeah, man. I want these comments, bro. I love it that y'all here, but like I say, some of you cats can't super chat, and that's fine. I do love money though. But I'm doing that. Y'all can't. Y'all at least do the minor part. Like the video,
free,
and share it. Put it on y'all community tabs. Let's get these views up and shit. Like for real, because it don't take but like 5 minutes. But you don't realize what that shit does. Like guess what? Like the all women are single. That was my highest one. It got 20,000 views. But you know what? You know why a part of that happened is because y'all was engaged and y'all commented on that motherfucker. And YouTube said, "Hey, people like this shit. Let's push it some more." See, if I would have dropped that shit and y'all would have left 1 or 2 comments, it would have stopped it. Right. But if y'all was engaged and they got 200 comments, so they got 20,000. That's why, bro. So I'm telling y'all think I'm not pandering. I'm trying to tell you because I do YouTube. We all do, and I study this shit, bro. This is not just some shit that we say because we supposed to say it. You gotta like the video, bro. You gotta drop that shit. When shit don't get engagement, then they just tuck it away and wait for another one, bro. You gotta start. I don't give a fuck about if you want to say how saucy you are and leave me all this intellectual fucking shit. I don't care. That's what I'm talking about, baby. It's a super chat.
Now we're talking.
See, that's love, bro. And like I said, that's real love too, because I remember the angry church, bro. You see what I'm saying? I respect my elders, and I also respect my OGs and shit, bro, because I was just like fucking, I don't know, Billy Earl in here. I was just look, I had all this game, all this charisma, all this smell good and shit. Y'all didn't even know. I was just a fucking guy with no avatar talking shit. You know what I'm saying? So it feels good to be motivated and appreciated by the people who you seen first. You know what I'm saying? I seen him first. He didn't see me first because I wasn't doing it first. You know what I'm saying? I seen him first. Now he in here blessing me. That's motivation for me, bro.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That's like real motivation. And not to say nothing against anybody else, but like if James Brown leave me a 99 super chat, I am going to appreciate that. But I appreciate more from, you know what I mean? Because You know, like if AMS could come in here and like, cause I watched them. I was just looking at my phone, looking at some cool fucking content, but wasn't doing it.
Yeah,
So when you get that
they gave you the original juice.
Yeah, so people don't understand the energy, bro. Like just like that. Like I never will forget the time that AMS dropped me my first $100, bro. That made my fucking year, bro. Because he could just watch. He watched and he dropped. And remember too, you know, before then they didn't have that $500 super chat. I don't even know when they created, but that was the top. You couldn't get no higher than that at the time. So I'm like, damn, he watching my shit and dropping it to me, and he the cat that inspired me. You think I didn't get on my shit hard after that? So people don't realize, just like, and now I get it now because I do it. Because it's like for me, I'm just a regular cat. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I'm Cat's uncle. I'm their big brother. I'm their fucking whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because people watch me before they know me, so I inspire them.
Right.
To me, I'm just doing what I love, but you don't really realize who you show until they tell you when they tell you back. You know what I'm saying? So I just leave it at that. Shout out to Auntie, sudden death. Here y'all go, bro. So what do I need to start these motherfuckers at midnight and stay up till 3 or what? Anyways, man, I appreciate everybody that came on. Coach Justin,
all right,
OG, my little bro TRAV, my brother from another mother, AV, RP. You still in there? My other brother too. He probably
salute
in the whip. But yeah, I will say this though. If you came in here, this was a long stream and it went many different ways, and there were a lot of different people who aren't on the panel currently. So I would even suggest, seriously, you got a LSP. What's up, baby? What the hell? Not
timestamps too. Timestamps. If anybody know can do timestamps.
Thank you. This is what I want to say. Thank you, bro. Because I would have been pissed afterwards. So this is what I need, bro. If somebody, it could be in this right now, or it can be in the playback. I need somebody to do my timestamps. So y'all know I'm an uploader now. But when I do these long things, I need the timestamps, bro. So if somebody could do the timestamps for me, or know somebody, put them in contact with me, Mr. King Fee 101@gmail.com or Instagram, International Ivy Kingdom. I'll give you consultations for life, one a month, or as long as I need them. Not for life. I don't know.
You could also go on Fiverr and somebody will do that shit for you.
No, I want free.
But Fiverr is practically free.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fiverr is like just really, really cheap. Because it's like dudes like in like Thailand. You know what I mean? Like $5 American is like 50 over there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's gonna be 1,000.
They'll be able to pick up these topics, all this shit we saying. They ain't gonna understand what we saying. You think?
No. Oh yeah. Good English, and you're just like, hey, do timestamps on these videos, and they'll do that shit up. Just check it out, Fiverr.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Coach Justin, he don't want y'all to get free consultations. So if y'all want a free consultation, I'm gonna go on Fiverr too. So y'all better hurry the fuck up, because if I find the Fiverr first, they got the money. And
there you go.
And if you want to help me out first, then all y'all gotta do is watch my shit and then just put the time shit in, and then once a month we'll have our video consultation for free. That's how we'll do it. So appreciate each and one of y'all.
All right.
Have a good night. And then, like I said, if y'all came in later, put this on your agenda. Like, it's a lot of game, a lot of different perspectives. And this is how I do it. You know, I watch shit in parts. Luckily for YouTube, when you watch some shit, you cut it off, it will bring you back where you finish. That's the luxury of it. You ain't got to figure out which last part you seen. So 3 hours, watch. If it takes you 3 days to watch this shit, watch all of it.
It'll be worth it.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna make y'all eat it. I'm not gonna drop no uploads until I feel like I got enough people to watch this shit. Because I ain't waste my fucking 3.5, 4 hours just to give y'all a 10-minute fucking video to get 5,000 views and shit, and y'all just skip this. Nope, y'all can't skip it now because I'm leaving this shit up. So y'all have a good night. Make sure y'all drop some money in the chat, so some fire signs or whatever. Thank you, Angry Man, for the sponsorship, and thank you for Anthony Spade also for the sponsorship earlier. And y'all have a good night. Peace.
Zero.